right, everybody, good evening. This has quickly become the doggy episode, which is actually super apropos when you see our recipe share for tonight. But it wasn't necessarily we planned on, but you know what? That's the way things roll around here. So I just want to say happy TDOC Day 10. That means we've got one more guest and then we have our after party. So don't forget, if you're local, great, give me a ring and you can join me here in the studio. And if you're not, I hope you will join us on Zoom for the after party, which is on the 6th. So with that, tonight we've got a great guest and I'm super excited to catch up with her. We've got a couple of things that we're gonna roll down at the top of our program like we do every time, because remember, we're hoping that there's always new people with us every time, or maybe somebody new watching on recording. So a couple of things that we want to remind you of going on this week. Now remember, we've got this amazing, I'm not gonna pick it up because I have a dog in my lap tonight, but we've got this amazing keepsake basket, which we have been collecting donations from everybody that's been with us every night, and that basket is growing. And for each of you, the drawing for the keepsake basket happens at the after party. Now, you don't have to be here with us in the after party to win it, but you do have to get your name on a ticket and have to be part of it to be picked. So how do you do that? So for every $10 that you've been spending with us for the entire TDOC, you get one ticket put into the basket for the drawing. So really from the top of the program, many of you that have been part of the Life in Rainbows Knit Along with Kimberly McAlinden and myself, we opened pre-registration this week. So that was 8 tickets right there. Don't forget, we've got another and our last Crafting with Cotswold class. That's happening on January 16th. So that's 3 tickets right there if you want to learn how to knit with the actual locks from the sheep that I shear, and not only make these really cool wreaths, but add it to your knitting as well. So that's something you can jump in on. Then from one of our other guests, Linda Courtwright from Wild Fibers, she is doing another lecture for us again this year. In the past, it's been a series. This time it's only one. So for $15, you can be on Zoom with us. And if you've never heard Linda Courtwright from Wild Fibers, she is an amazing storyteller, right? Amazing storyteller, amazing pictures, just an incredible lifestyle that she's created for herself, traveling the world and going to so many different cultures and communities and learning about and studying their textiles and then bringing that all back to us. So the lecture series she has set up for us is called Stranger Things, etc., etc. So it's going to be kind of like a compilation of a lot of different things from her travels. So always a fun time. And that's just $15. So it's one ticket, but every little ticket counts. And then, of course, throughout the week, we've had lots of specials for you. We had a big drop on Thursday night. So there's lots of new yarns from a dye collab, a spinning collab, just so many things. So if you are new to us, please go ahead and check out our website. And if you ever have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. We are always happy to help. So I do want to just kind of kick off a couple of things that will go along with that. We do have a couple of specials. And so again, while there's new people with us, it might be worth sharing, or again, for the recording. So right off the bat, I actually have a lanolin skincare line that is my lifesaver for the winter. And that has done us justice well over the years, probably even back to when I met Marley in the early days. Mm-hmm. So we've got body butter, salves, lip balms. We now have bath bombs. We have soap. We have pure lanolin if you know any expecting moms or any nursing moms. So we've got lots of different things. And right now we're offering that 50% off. Now remember, all these specials are only good through tomorrow night. So through Monday midnight, because everything will shut down so we can tabulate all of the tickets and then get all ready for the after party. So that code is TDOC2550. So TDOC, 12 Days of CommuKnitty, 25 for, well, it was the year 25 when we started, and then 50 for 50% off. The other special that we've got going on that you need a code for, now you can use these codes as many times as you like. You can't use them in the same time that you shop, but we are combining any kind of shipping. So again, if you're new to us and you hadn't heard about this before, if you want to shop and grab some skincare, check out. If you want to shop again and use this other code, you can absolutely do that. We'll combine shipping and credit you anything need be. We're happy to help you guys with that. So our other code is Gotland, which is a breed of sheep we've been talking a lot about this week. So it's Gotland, Gotland 20. And that's going to give you 20% off all of our Gotland socks and our Gotland gloves that we have left in stock. This is from a flock down in North Carolina that I shear, who Victor, who's my Gotland, is related to. And we had Amy Kidd, the shepherdess, on earlier this week as well. So that's another special that we've got for you guys. So that's just some of our codes that you can utilize. Outside of that, again, you can certainly check out some of the other new things that we've dropped along the week. Now, I always like to do some product shares, so I'm going to kind of make that quick, if you will. I was trying to think of some different things that we have at the trade shows, things that maybe you might not otherwise find on our website, and things that are kind of like applicable to anybody. So one of the things that I find at the shows is once people ask us about it, Marley, do you have a gleaner?
Nope.
You don't? Man, oh man. And you got that big golden doodle sitting on your lap. Let me tell you, if I don't want to use this as a pill remover, it's actually literally just the best lint roller, instead of like the sticky tape kind of thing. So I probably use it more for that than anything else.
That's cool.
But it always it makes me think of, my mom had that little battery powered, sweater shaver. It's and of course it was what it was. But obviously I just carry these. I have no skin in the game, but this is the travel size, which a lot of people seem to love. They do have a more home version that's got an ergonomic handle, but for the cost of the travel size gleaner, and it comes with its own little bag. You can just shove it right in your knitting bag or in your pocketbook. But essentially, there's 3 different heads that are interchangeable. So it allows you to take pills off of everything from your rugs and upholstery all the way to your fine knits. And then on top of that, on the back, as I said, is the best lint roller. So you can throw away all those sticky rolls. So it's just something that works. I carry it everywhere with me. Of course, anybody who's knitting, actually, even if you buy a sweater, it's still pills. Everything pills. So let's just be real about that. So I do love the gleaner. It's such a quick, easy purchase. And actually, it's good for everybody. So we're maybe past the holidays, but I don't know about you. I still have to do some gift giving. So, you can always keep that in mind. So that's the gleaner I wanted to share. Then a couple of people have been putting it into the cart this week. We have everything llama. It's a little hard to see, but we have this adorable little silver llama stitch marker / charm, because you can also use it as that. There's a pretty large jump ring that will allow you to also put it around a necklace, put it on a bracelet. But of course, we have to have all things llama. Now, the one thing I did want to mention, these are not on my site, but if you shopped for the $5 llama silver stitch marker and you said, I want the llama, the real llama one is instead, you can certainly do that. But every so often we'll do some merch for some of our llamas. And this is one of our newer girls. This is Yahtzee. So if she stops shaking, you can see her little head. So we've got Yahtzee in the silver background, and then we've got Yahtzee on a bronze background. So again, they are stitch markers, but you could also use them as a charm. So if you want a little keepsake from one of our cast of characters, as I like to call it, you could certainly just drop the $5 silver llama stitch marker in your cart. And then in the notes section, you could just say, hey, I want the one with Yahtzee. Or you just give us a call, and we're always happy to help. So that's my product share for tonight. I wanted to keep it kind of simple. Pattern share, of course, we've got a couple of different things behind me, and as well as what I'm wearing. I did have to put our Montauk lacy scarf back on again. That's one of our crochet patterns. I felt like I needed to be supportive since I know Marley rocks both the crochet and the knit world. So I thought that would be good to put up there. That uses 1 skein of our fingering weight. Behind me is the Shelter Island cowl. That is just contrasting colors of our sport weight yarn. And then over here, this was designed by a friend, Patty Olson. This is called the Midge, and it's a really beautiful like crescent moon shawl that just sits nicely on your shoulders, but I've got it kind of wrapped around the dress form using one of the sequin lace buttons from Jewel Designs. And then
Love it.
I am wearing the Fairwind shawl, which is brioche. I feel like you need to bring your dog brioche
I know.
now.
She's upstairs hanging out. She's not coming down. Yeah.
So we already learned Marley's two dogs are Pearl, which I didn't at first when she was talking. I didn't get it. And
Yeah.
then when she said her other dog was Brioche, I'm like, oh, now I
Yeah.
get it. Now I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So this is the Fairwind shawl done by Kate Atherley, and it's actually a double pattern. So this is the intermediate version, and then there's also a beginner version that comes with it, and it uses two contrasting skeins of our sport weight. I kind of have it worn sort of like a more, bandana style, but it's a really neat, like geometrical type shawl. So I'm just kind of draping it around tonight just for an accent. The only other one I wanted to show, because somebody brought it up last night, we were talking about thrum mittens and
Oh,
thrum slippers. And somebody was asking if you could use the actual curls instead of roving. So it kind of sparked an interesting conversation where I said, I don't think it's going to exactly work the same way because you really need those fibers to be opened up. You need the fibers to be parallel to one another to really be able to get, that felted process that happens on the inside. So it was an
mhm.
interesting thought, but I don't think it would work with just a curl itself and instead using roving. So I just grabbed our Artist Colony Mitts pattern. It was something we did a long time ago because you can use a really what I call rustic wool yarn, and then yet using the roving just makes it feel super amazing and squishy on the inside.
Yeah.
So I grabbed one of our Gotland yarns, which is a really good, hardy, rustic roving. It's got a lot of strength character to it. And then actually all you need is just 1 ounce of any one of our colored rovings. So that's our Artist Colony Mitts. Again, remember, guys, any of the patterns that you see here, should you buy the appropriate purchase of yarn, all you have to do is let us know what pattern you want, and then we drop that into your order. So always happy to support. So that's my rundown for the most part in terms of patterns and products. So before we really kick off into our program, oddly enough, the reason, I don't even think it was the reason why, it actually just turned into like a doggy program. But funny enough, I was telling Marley that my recipe share for tonight, I mean, in one way, I felt like I was kind of cheating or like copping out on you guys. We're still sticking with the pumpkin theme. However, we're making treats for your dogs. So I will say again, this is compliments of my stepmother Marilyn, but she made these super healthy pumpkin dog biscuits, and then of course Life LIYF Long Island Yarn and Farm. She also did them in little sheep, and then
Oh,
because we have Piggity in the house, she did them in little pigs.
that's adorable.
So
That's
the
adorable.
recipe is dropped in the chat. Thank you to Erin for that. And of course, anybody, if you're watching the recordings, there is some talk. Jill's going to kill me when she gets back in the office, but there is some talk about putting a compilation together, maybe in a newsletter, because a lot of you have asked about the recipes that we've shared throughout the week. Now, dare I say she's sleeping right now? I feel like I'm just going to let sleeping's dogs lie, literally.
Yeah.
And if she wakes up, then maybe we'll do a taste test with Dixie. I can
Perfect.
assure you I've already fed them to her and Piggity. Piggity loves them too. So I thought it was a neat twist to the recipe share. I can't say that I've made them myself, but I do love, like, I don't know about you, Marley, but I mean, I try to be somewhat healthy for my dogs as well in terms of
Oh,
like the treats we give them.
so the dogs, ironically, they were purchased for me. Like Pearl was my Christmas gift in 2020, and Brioche was my Valentine's gift in 2021. But they are my husband's dogs. Make no doubt about, like, he even has a tattoo on his arm that is Pearl. Like Pearl is on his arm. And so he only buys the best for his girls. He calls them his girls. So like they get the best food and the best treats. And he doesn't want them to go to the groomer. He has the groomer come to the house because he doesn't want to have Pearl be locked up in a cage. She's got to be able to get free when she needs to. And so it's a whole thing. He is very protective of his girls and takes care of his girls.
I love it. Well, seeing as how you were saying that he's the one that made the chili tonight, maybe you
Yes.
need to put him up to making the dog treat recipe.
I
And
should do that. Although he'd probably be like, "You're the one that likes baking. You should do it." So, and because I do, I like it. It's
I was
fun.
gonna say, so does he take care of most of the cooking and you
Oh
like
yeah. He
baking?
takes care of girl. I'm a kept woman. Are you kidding me? Like he does the grocery shopping, he does the cooking, he does the planning, he does the laundry, he
And
does
he
the
folds the
yard.
laundry?
He folds, yeah, he folds the laundry. He'll put, and it's just his and my laundry. He'll put his laundry away. My laundry gets put on a chair. So my chair is overflowing because I have ADHD. And so I just pick out of my chair until one day I get sick of it. And then I'm like, I got to put everything away. And then I'm just like, just put my underwear in this drawer. Like this is where it goes. It's all nice. Like I'm one of those, like I like my underwear folded. It's in a pile. It's not a pile. It's in a,
And it stays
like a
that way?
stacked. Oh yeah. Like
Oh,
it has to. And he's like, no, that's too much work. He goes, I'm already folding the damn stuff. I'm gonna, I was like, valid.
I
I'm
love
totally all right with that. But yeah, he does all of that. Honestly, I couldn't do what I do without John. And so it's really nice that over the years we just celebrate our 24th wedding anniversary and we've learned how to, I don't know, work together, like what my strengths are and what his strengths are, and it works really well. But yeah, he does all of that, all of
That's
it.
great.
Yeah.
I will say my husband does all of the cooking. Not that I can't cook, but he's
Right.
happy doing it. He loves doing it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you go. He'll do laundry, but I have already restricted. He knows to just do his own if he's going to venture.
Oh,
So
yeah.
laundry is mine for sure.
Oh,
And
no,
I'm happy to have that job. And I also will say I love grocery shopping. I
oh,
don't know why. It's like my me time. And him, it's like we're shopping on like some cooking game show. We got to
yes.
run up and down every aisle. I'm
Yes.
like, no, I go
So,
up and down every aisle. I got to look at
yes. Yes.
everything.
I like that. John likes to order on the app. So
Oh,
all my daughter lives with us and we all have access to the app. I literally don't even know how to log into the app because whenever I want something, I'm like, hey, can you just add this? And so I do not like going onto the app because I like to walk up and down the aisle and see what I want. And so time constraint, I don't get to do that very often. And then John's like, when you do that, you spend way more money than if I just get it on the app. And so, and then he'll just be like, what do you want from the store? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not in that frame of mind right now to stop what I'm doing and think
right.
about what it is I want at the store. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So
Well, if
yeah,
you
that's,
see it, like then you're like, oh, I need that or I need this. And I'm
yeah,
usually pretty good about not getting extra, except when I go to Sam's Club. That's out of this
yeah,
world. I'm not really sure what
yeah.
happens whenever I go.
He's pretty good about anticipating things that I need, which is really wild. Like, right down to like maxi pads. Like, he's like, I saw that these were getting low. I was like, okay, thanks. Like he is on top of it. I am telling you, he's so on top of things. And then I joked around earlier about perimenopause being, I mean, it is hitting me bad. Like my memory, things that I was just sharp on, right? Like they just go. And he's just like, don't you remember? And I'm like, I have zero recollection of this. And he's like, you okay? And I'm like, I think so. I'm like, I do not remember that conversation. I don't remember saying XYZ. And then something will said, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I do remember. But it's wild. So he is just trying to be on top of everything right now. He's just like, are you okay? So the doctor said it's normal. I don't know. This is wild stuff, man.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I only just joke around. And of course, then we'll circle back to official introductions. But do you have a Lidl by you? Lidl? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a grocery store, but it's like one of
Oh,
those
no.
sort of like discount, like they don't always have the things you want or need, but then
Oh,
when they have it, it's like discounted. Well, this one, that's like his favorite place to go. We have a bomb shelter downstairs because when it says, oh, buy, he'll come home all the time. Well, it was on sale. I'm like, that
uh-huh.
you have to get five. Like
Yes.
one
Uh-huh.
would be fine. We
I
literally
understand.
have 10 of those, like whatever, quart-sized containers of broth. I don't,
Nice.
for why, I'm not really sure, right? It's like when it says 3, 4, I'm like, you don't have to get three. You can just
Hmm.
get one and get that same price.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
I
mind
get you.
here. So
I get you.
anyway, well, look, guys, obviously you can see what tonight is going to be about, which is great. So, I mean, my minimal introduction is just that I had met Marley Bird a long, long, long time ago. And I actually feel like it was at the same event when I met Kimberly McAlinden. We were at that event, I think it was every other year. So, I mean, I think there was like at
Was
least
it
two.
CGOA?
Yeah, that's what, I don't know. She knows the acronym. I just remember it was like a knit and crochet
Yeah.
thing because I would not
Yeah.
have gone to it if it was just crochet. But not that but it was
I
just like
get you.
I was too new then, so I
Yeah.
would not have probably had the forethought. So I think that's when it was like combined, and
Yeah.
it was in New Hampshire,
Uh-huh.
Nashua, I think,
Hmm.
and it was every other year because maybe it was down south one year and then it would come up north the other or something.
That was my first year going too. That was
Okay.
my first year. And that was actually right when I was starting YouTube. Because I don't know if you remember this. My first conversation with you was actually we said hi, and we were like in the bar area. And I think we were sitting with Patty Lyons. And I was complaining to Patty that this industry is all sorts of messed up when it comes to the pay because I had like $30,000 out on the books, but I wasn't going to get paid until the piece was published and then 30 days after that. And so I was dead broke, but I was working my butt off and I was just like, I got to change something. And
Yeah.
that's when I went to YouTube. And then from there, I became spokesperson for Red Heart and like just things have just transitioned a lot since then. But I remember sitting there and you were just talking, just like we'd known each other forever. It's like, yeah, I understand, things can get rough, blah, blah, blah. Like it was just really great conversation. So, and then after that, I bought your lanolin and it was life changing because I used to live in Colorado and it's incredibly dry there. And so I had you had a lotion with lanolin in it and I had a lip balm with lanolin and then I bought the pure lanolin for my dad because he had really bad eczema and it would help his knuckles and stuff. So I used to buy all of that from you when we lived in Colorado.
Well, where
Um,
I don't even, I mean, again, so now our
so
introduction is derailed, but I don't even know where you live right now.
yeah,
Like, every time I text you, I'm like, I think you're an hour behind, but I don't even
nope.
know. Where are you?
So I'm in Indiana
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm on East Coast time in Indiana.
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
So we moved to Indiana in 2019. My husband got a job out here. So we moved out here then. And we've been out here ever since.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now see already, where in Indiana? I
It-
go in northern Indiana.
Yep. So I'm right outside of Indianapolis, east of Indianapolis.
How far are you from Route 80?
I don't know where 80 is. I'm so terrible. So Indianapolis is like sort of in the middle. And so
Okay.
if you were to go I live east on I-69.
Okay.
So like if you go, it's like you're going towards Ohio and all that. So I just a little bit, like
Yeah,
30
I mean, I'm
minutes.
sure there's different ways. Well, I'll have to look it up because every year we are at a llama show in Cloverdale, Indiana in
I
March.
have no idea where that is.
I know. Well, I would not either if I didn't have to drive there. There's a big
Yep.
stock arena, and I know it's northern Indiana because
Okay.
we go across 80, which is northern of everything.
Gotcha.
Either way, I'll have to see how far it is because what's
Yeah.
fun is over the years, once like COVID was done and everybody was back out again. Now, when people know that I'm going to be at various llama shows, I have fiber friends that'll meet me in Indiana. I have fiber friends that'll meet me in Ohio. So it's kind of fun when I'm on the
Yeah.
road and get to meet different people and see different people, and it's fun to show people that like world too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but probably knowing our luck, you're like all the way down south, like 5,000 hours away.
No, I'm not that far. Like I'm 2.5 hours from like the Illinois border. Like if I were going to Chicago, I'm just 3 hours from Chicago.
Yeah, so it couldn't be too bad at all.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's a really great location actually. When we moved here, it was nice because like my best friend and business partner, Robin Chichula, she lives in Pittsburgh, and so it's only like 5.5, 6 hours. And then one of my other best friends, Lindsay Martin, who owns Erin Lane Bags, she's 5 hours away. She lives down in like Nashville, Tennessee, and then 3 hours to Chicago. Like it just feels like I'm really close to all these places because being from Colorado, like it's 10 hours to get to Kansas City and,
Yeah.
10 hours to get to Salt Lake City and 10 hours to get to Santa Fe. And so you have like it's all these long trips where now, I mean, 3 hours I can get to Chicago. Are you kidding me? That's a day's trip. Like we have driven to Nashville, had lunch, and drove home.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really nice.
Well, at least maybe like you said. I mean, although I have to say, do you feel like the views in Colorado were nicer?
Yeah, but the traffic and everything is so bad now. Like I'm a
In
true
Colorado?
Coloradoan. Do it?
Traffic in Colorado?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Terrible,
Well,
terrible,
now,
terrible.
of course, I feel like I'm being that like completely stereotypical. Like when I say I'm from Long Island and people are like, how do you have a farm? Like, isn't it all skyscrapers? And meanwhile,
Oh,
I'm like, how do you have traffic in Colorado?
girl. Yeah. It's because I'm from Denver and it's
Okay.
very, very, very lots and lots of traffic. Lots of traffic. Yes. It's crazy.
Well, let's go. So if I was to say, like, who is Marley Bird? I mean, actually, I do want to say, guys, please, and don't be shy about this because this is the whole point of TDOC is to hopefully introduce you to new people. Now, I mean, Marley's been in the industry for quite a long time. You know, she has like a tremendous presence, but it would still be interesting if somebody does not know of Marley. I would love for you to drop into the chat and say that she is new to you because I think that's always great to see and great to hear.
I was
Cheryl, I
I was
know.
gonna say maybe Cheryl should be like jump on Cheryl, who's Marley? Like I don't even know how to Cheryl and I have known each other. Gosh, I've been in the industry for 18 or 19 years. I think I've known Cheryl at least 12 of those, right, Cheryl? Like a long time. I don't
Nice. I
know.
love that. Yeah, Cheryl has been like what I consider one of my lifers too.
She's
But good.
fantastic.
I mean, we've got a couple of people that, more than a couple of people saying
A
that
lot. They don't know who I am. See?
that's great. That's
That's all
great.
right.
That is why
Um,
we do this. So I love that. I love it. So with that in mind, then please, like, so again, who is Marley? Like just a brief introduction, because then of course we're gonna roll from there. But like like what would you want people to know about you in the overview? And then we'll go back to where you started knitting and all that good stuff.
okay, overview. I am a knitter and crocheter. So I say I'm bi crafty. So I am your
Saw
bi
that on
crafty.
here.
Yeah.
I love
I'm your
that.
bi crafty bestie. Um, Literally everything we do, we will give a knitting pattern and a crochet pattern if we're doing any sort of a make along together. Not necessarily that they match each other, but we do knitters and crocheters. Sometimes we'll even have a Tunisian pattern in there. Um, Unlike most of the designers or yarn companies or anybody in this industry, my audience truly is 50-50, and that's very, very rare. Usually you're either a knitting person or a crochet person. I have literally had to pull up reports to give to Red Heart, to Hirschner's, to other companies to be like, I'm telling you, my audience is 50-50 because it is. Like you can look at my sales and it's equal. Like we just had this New Year's Eve knit along and or make along, a New Year's Eve make along. I had an equal number of people that purchased the knit along as they did to the crochet along. Like it was equal. And so that's really a rare thing. Um, my audience is they're fantastic. They are generally advanced beginners to experienced. Like I have the quite a range there. I love to teach knitting and crochet. I love to design knitting and crochet. Um, my biggest thing is I'm not going to be that person if you're looking just to go and get like a quick answer for something. I'm going to not only tell you how to do something, I'm going to explain to you why you're going to do it and how you can use it in other areas. So it truly is like if you're going to watch one of my YouTube videos or take one of my courses inside the Marley Birdhouse, you really are getting a lesson that is equal to like six different classes you would have had at Stitches in one. Like it's taking a class with me. I'm not just this run of the mill kind of, I'm just going to show you real quick how to do something. I mean, there are times when that's warranted, but I just don't do that because I don't like that. I like to understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Now, like I said, there are times when I just want to, just give me the down and dirty. I just want to know. And yeah, there's a time and a place for that. But for the most part, if we're doing any sort of a tutorial or anything, I'm teaching the full how to do it. Um, let's see. I have,
Which you reach your audience, meaning I think because again, I'm seeing quite a few people that are new to you. Somebody asked how to get you, so I know that
yeah,
Aaron was dropping that into the chat. So but I mean in terms of like the venue in which all these things you're talking about that you're able to interact with people, is that, do you have actual, classes that people sign up for online, or are you still doing stuff in person? Is
no.
it all through your YouTube? Is it through make-alongs?
Yeah.
So how are people getting all this information from you that you're just talking about?
Okay, so I'm just gonna, all of you who don't know me, hey, how are you? My name's Marley. I am a married wife, like I'm a married mom. And I have been in the industry for 18, 19 years. My best friend and I started working together more and more since 2018-ish. And now she's really a big part of my business, and her name is Robin Chichula. She is an acclaimed crochet designer. She was an expert on the Knit and Crochet Now television show. So us together really are a dynamic duo. We have this exceptional team. Um, when I say we have a team, we do knitting and crochet patterns throughout the year. We host make-alongs. So it's not just a knit along, it's not just a crochet along, it's a make-along because we have knitting and crochet. Most of them are free as well as a paid for VIP upgrade, which is what you can get so you don't have ads. And all of that is housed in the Marley Birdhouse. Now we're going to come back to the Marley Birdhouse. Okay. We'll come back to that. So I have patterns that are for sale on Etsy, on Ravelry, on my own Shopify store. You can find all things about me on marleybird.com. Now, does marleybird.com have ads? Yes, because I'm a businesswoman and I need to make money. However, I hate ads. You hate ads. If you hate ads as much as I hate ads and there's a paid for option, you just buy the paid for option. It's that simple. If you can't buy the paid for option, you want the free, then you have ads. It's like come on now. This is not that difficult. I don't have any more ads than anybody else does. It's the nature of the industry, right? Um, and
How
then
much is
on my
just
YouTube,
as an example, not to, so how much is the paid for option? I'm assuming that's what bypasses ads.
exactly. So the paid for is like you're buying a PDF. If you're buying a VIP, it's not only a PDF, it's an upgrade where you get the lessons inside of the Marley Birdhouse. So we'll come back to that, but it's a pattern. It's a pattern on crack. It's more than just a pattern. Like my patterns are not just these really easy peasy patterns that are just put out there. Like we really put a lot of work into them. And they range anywhere from $5 to $15. And I have a few individual patterns that include full video support, full row by row tutorials, full charts for each of the different sizes, like full on charts, like they could go by row to know exactly everything that they're doing. And those, since it's like a class in and of itself, those are a little bit more expensive. And then I have my YouTube channel. It's just I'm Marley Bird practically everywhere on Instagram. I'm the Marley Bird because some other lady took Marley Bird, so I'm the Marley Bird. So you can follow me anywhere there. I don't do as much on YouTube anymore because YouTube, I swear, it has shadow banned me, and I think I have my suspicions as to why. I can't really say why, but so I don't do as much over there as I like to do just in the Marley Birdhouse because then I know that the people who are coming to get the patterns and getting the lessons that they want, they know what they're signing up for, so to speak, and they know what they're expecting. I have never, knock on wood, had anybody get any of my patterns or purchase them in the Marley Birdhouse and been unhappy about it. Like for the most part, a lot of my followers will always say whenever Marley has an option for a birdhouse option, like get it. Like it's no question, you just get it. Um, So let's talk
What do
about
you
the
mean
birdhouse.
by what do you mean by a birdhouse option?
That's what I'm gonna tell you. So I used to travel the country teaching at Stitches and at CGOA and stuff, and that's when I was the spokesperson for Red Heart Yarns, and then that was purchased by Yarn Inspirations, so I became a Stitch ambassador for Yarn Inspirations, and that ended at the end of last year. So I no longer work for Yarn Inspirations or any place like that. But when I stopped working for Stitches, I really wanted to have my own learning platform that I could teach courses and provide patterns in such a manner that I wanted them to be done and that I would want to receive them if I was buying a class or a pattern or a make along from somebody. And having done classes with Craftsy and Creative Bug and being on the television show and having my own studio here in my house, like I had all the tools to do it. So I built an online site. It's called the Marley Bird House. It makes sense. Marley Bird is my name. That's my real name.
I
And
do
so
have
it's
to say, I will be the first to tell you when we were talking, kind of getting ready for this. I mean, I've just known her as Marley Bird all these years, but
yeah.
there was a part of me that I was like, is that a brand name? Like, is it a play on something? And she's like, no, it's really my name. I was like, I just
Yeah.
want to check.
No, you're good. It's like my real name is Marlena, but Marley's my nickname, but Bird is my last name, so Marley Bird. And I trademark that. So if my husband divorces me, I get his name. Like it is mine. So he's stuck. So yeah, Marley Bird. So the Marley Bird House, if you go there, you guys go to marleybirdhouse.com and you could see all the available products we have in there. A lot of them are make-alongs or courses. And when I say a make-along, it isn't like, oh, the make-along is over, I can't be a part of it. You're buying a pattern and a full course that goes with it when you buy a make along. Um, I'm sure Cheryl could probably explain even easier than I can, but
And that makes
it's
perfect sense because I will say not to that is very similar. Like I swore I would never do knit alongs because it just wasn't my thing. But that's something very similar to what Kimberly and I do every year,
yeah,
where people understand that you can do it at your own pace, you can do it at your own time. You're
yes,
doing the video, so yeah. I
yes.
mean, this audience, regardless if they're new to you, most of them are familiar with that, so they
Yeah.
totally get that.
Yeah, so like you have unlimited access to your anything you buy, it goes into your Marley Birdhouse, so you get access to whatever you've purchased. I have a customer support team that helps me keep everything organized. And so with that, we do a variety of events throughout the year. So a lot of different make along. So like we just did the New Year's Eve countdown make along, which was a from noon to midnight every 2 hours. I gave a set of instructions out for knitters and crocheters. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, you're going to make this in this 12 hours. It was, I'm just giving you you can make it whenever you want. Like this is kind of just a fun thing or whatever. The next big one that we have is the game day mystery make along, and that's done on Super Bowl Sunday. So the entire day of Super Bowl Sunday, there are instructions that are given out, and that one is designed to be done by the time the Super Bowl game starts. That's our biggest event outside of Turkey Trot, which is what we do over Thanksgiving. But like that, on average, we get usually 30 to 40,000 participants a year. Like it is crazy how many people participate in game day. And then we'll do Tournament of Stitches, which follows along with March Madness, the March
So can
Madness
I
tournament.
ask to go back to the one that they're doing on Super Bowl? If
Yeah.
it's designed for them to start and finish by the end of Super Bowl, now we
Mhm.
all know any sports game could, go from this long to this long, but
Oh, it's before the game.
it's
Before
before
the
the
game.
game.
Mhm.
Okay,
Because
but are
I want people to be able to watch the game if they want.
okay.
So
Yeah, we're
it's like it
talking
usually
like
starts.
an accessory. Like, is it something
Yes,
smallish?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. Yeah. It's usually an accessory. One year we've done jewelry. Um, we've done hats, we've done cowls, we've done
And do they have to pay to get into this? I would assume.
so there's a free version and a paid version. So
Okay.
it all depends on what people want to participate in. Some people don't want to pay for a mystery that they don't know what it is, so then they'll participate in the free and then they're like, "Oh, I love it. I'm going to buy it." There's always a discount for the people who get it when they don't know what it is first, and then the price goes up. But it's just kind of goes 50-50. Like I said, most of the things that we do, we will do free versions. There's very rare that we do something that it's strictly just a paid for version. And a big part of that is because I want to make sure that things are accessible to people because the economy's freaking hard, right? It's just hard. And as much as, yes, I want to make money, I understand that sometimes $5, it's just too much. You just can't, you don't have that extra money. So yeah, I'm asking you to put up with a few ads on the site so that I can make some money. And granted, it takes 1,000 people to view that page before I make like $15. So like I'm not raking it in, right? But it allows me to give access to people of all walks of life, no matter where we are, right? And so that's just something that's very, very important to me.
I'm going
Um,
to ask you to clarify though, because I know if I'm not too sure, then maybe other people aren't. So
Sure.
let's say, for instance, taking this example or taking this day. So we're talking about a pattern that they're getting so that they can make something that day. But I guess what I
Mhm.
don't understand is the difference between, I understand you're saying, okay, if they get a free pattern, then they have to deal with ads. But I'm
Mhm.
thinking of a pattern just in terms of like a whatever, however many sheets with the instructions and stuff versus the paid
Okay,
pattern.
so
What's
if
the
you're gonna if you're
difference?
gonna come and do one of the make-alongs, so if
Mhm.
you're just getting a pattern that I have on my website, it's gonna have ads on it. Like it's on the website. I don't provide a downloadable PDF. You
Okay,
have to look at it on the website. The
gotcha.
downloadable PDF is your ad-free PDF that you're buying. If you're gonna do an event, even if you buy the pattern, you don't get the full pattern at the start of the event, and there's a reason for that. I'll tell you the reason in a minute, but when we do big events where we release the pattern and it's called a time release or a dripped release. Let's say it starts at 9 o'clock. We'll put a set of instructions at 9 o'clock on our website for knitting and crocheting. In your Marley Birdhouse, you'd have a module that would open up at 9 o'clock. So you'd be able to follow along. And then let's say it opens one, there's one at 10 o'clock. So then there's another button that opens up at 10 o'clock on the website and another module that opens up at 10 o'clock. When everything is said and done, the full pattern is then available to you on Marley Birdhouse, right? That's your full ad-free PDF. And then everything is still divided up into sections on the marleybird.com because that's how we have released it. Now, the reason for us, and I know other designers will give the full pattern out at the start, we don't do that because when we're doing these make-alongs and events, in order to better help people as they're going through each section, it's important we have everybody at the same part. So if I give the pattern out too early, you'll get people who will be on section 6, but we're on section 1, and they'll go to ask a question, and we it's very hard to keep track of where they are, and it's hard if it's a mystery to not spoil it. You know what I mean? So that's literally that's why we do ours that way. It not everybody does it that way, and I get it. Not everybody likes that, and that's fine. You can always wait until the very end to start to see if that's what you want. Like it doesn't matter. But for us to answer questions as the moderators, which we call the modmins in my Facebook group, and then as my testers and stuff that will be in the group and answer questions, we usually will keep the questions in a particular thread. We'll say like the 9 o'clock hour, ask your questions here, so that we know where people are and we can help them with that. So yeah, what's how we divide that up.
Well, that certainly makes
Does
sense.
that help? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I just, you know what, I think just even by stating that the free version is not something you can print out, so you have to
No.
keep going back to
I
the
mean,
site.
you if you wanted to copy and paste it to like a Google Doc, you could. I mean, that's your prerogative, but I do not provide an the ad-free PDF is what you're buying.
Right, right.
Um,
No, that makes total sense. So that's why I
yeah.
just want to get that clarification that way.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, I mean, as far as so I mean, I cut you off with that because you were talking about that, but I wanted to clarify that because I'm sure there was other people that maybe weren't too sure. And then you were saying you do the turkey trot also. So
Mhm.
is that run like a similar way?
Yes. So we have game day, the Tournament of Stitches, which is over the course of 3 weeks, and that's done every other year. We don't do that every year anymore. And then we have a new one this year. It's going to be called Spring Fling. And then we have Christmas in July. So the whole month of July, there's a big event that we do. And then we have the this or that make along, which you can make this or that. Then we have First Fall, and then we have Turkey Trot, and Turkey Trot is over Thanksgiving weekend. It usually starts Thursday night, and it's a set of instructions every day, so from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and that's usually a bigger project. So like this year, we had a free version, which was just a hat.
Yes, and
The paid for version
Cheryl posted
was
that in the chat.
Yeah, the paid for version was like for the knitters, it was a hat and a um um pair of gloves and a cardigan, a cabled cardigan. For the crocheters, it was the free version was a bandana cowl, and the paid version was the bandana cowl and a large ruana. And
Mhm.
so you would get all of those patterns for one low price and all the instructions that go with making that stuff.
Now,
So
these
it's
are a lot of events of which I'm assuming you're designing brand new
yes.
things for each of
Yes.
them every
Yes.
year.
Yes. And on top of that, we have, when December comes around, we do the 24 Days of Quickies, where we collaborate with other designers, where every day we have two crochet designers and one knitwear designer that offer what would be maybe a free pattern on their website. They offer a free downloadable PDF for that just for the 24 hours. And then Robin and I do the Jolly Holiday with Marley, where we design 24 patterns, premium patterns, and you can buy those patterns at like the soup like it's 24 patterns. We sold it this year for $29. That's crazy. We had sweaters, I mean it was all over we had so many things. And so it's really it's a heck of a deal, but it's only offered for those 24 hours or 24 days.
Mhm.
And then it goes away. And then those patterns will individually be put up for sale later on. But all of those are in your Marley Birdhouse so that you can get to them whenever you want. And yeah, so we design a lot. We design a lot of stuff throughout the year. And we do courses and outside of the make-alongs, we'll have different courses. Like we have two shawl courses that are coming out this year. And then I have a knit sock course that is on the books, so I haven't recorded it yet. And then this year also I collaborated with a author. Her name is Penny Reed. I collaborated with her a couple years ago to design a garment for a big event she's doing for one of her book series. So we'll have that later on this year also. Yeah.
Now,
It's a
you're not.
lot. We do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's overwhelming, but at the same time, and I'm sure we'll get back to this because I'm always curious, and it's kind of like where you started out the conversation of like when I first met you. I mean, look, the reality is everybody we're running a small business, right? So
Yeah.
it has to be a lot, otherwise
It has to.
you don't have a business. Um,
Exactly.
but I'm curious, so especially for like some of these more like mystery make-alongs, let's say, since you're no longer like with Red Heart, so then how are you integrating like yarn for people to use or resourcing, or it's because I would assume back when you were representing them, were all your patterns geared towards their yarns? No?
No, because I had that in my contract that I didn't have to
Oh,
only use their
okay.
yarn. Um, I use a lot of yarns that I can use an affiliate link to. So if people, we tell them what the yarn is. We try and use easily accessible yarns as much as possible, so that people can draw from their stash if they want. Again, it's to help people financially be able to do things, right? And then if people want to get the exact yarn that we're doing and they use my affiliate code, then I'm able to make some money on the affiliate money as well. So we do a lot of stuff with Knit Picks and with Hirschner's. Um, who else have we done things with? I'm an affiliate with Michaels, so I've done a Michaels yarn before. Um, I think those are the main ones I've been doing lately.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we'll do the different things with that. But we try and use yarns that are pretty easy to get.
Affordable.
Yeah. And then skill level wise, we try and make all of our make-alongs you can be we call it an adventurous beginner because I truly believe knitting and crochet can be done by anybody. It's just we're told that it's really hard and it's literally sticks and string. So if you have a little bit of confidence in yourself and I give you the instructions you need just to take it slow and be confident in what you're doing, you can do it, right? So we keep everything about it at that level so that way people who are ready to jump into something that's bigger than an amigurumi can do it, or if somebody is advanced enough that they're not going to get bored and they can still do what we're doing. um so yeah, it's just we try and be very aware of everything that we design with a purpose. We think of the audience primarily when we're designing. Very seldom do I get to be selfish and say no, I want to do this. I kind of I not kind of I listen to what the audience is telling me when they're just like, I want to make like the crocheters. I made this really great color work swan show and they really wanted one. And so I did what was called the Prism Make Along. And so it was a knit swan show and a crochet swan show, both color work, and the crocheters were super happy. Like I had never had any plans on making a crochet swan show, but I like it. I mean, it's great, but yeah, it was all because of them because they were very much like, we want this. And
It's
if
really
I
fun.
don't,
You
I
have to
mean,
take inspiration from your audience.
oh yeah. Oh, they're not quiet. They they are very open to sharing their opinions. So yeah, I try and listen, and I mean, I am a little bit selfish in that I love to do color work and I love to do cables and texture. And that's because like I posted this on my Facebook. There was this they were somebody was interviewing some older women in New York. I don't know if you saw this in my Facebook thing, but they were like old women in New York. And I mean like 80 years old, like, and they were just dressed to the nine. Like they were dressed up, but to them, they're like, no, I'm just dressed. And they were super colorful and bright. Like they were living out loud, right? And this woman was talking about how she is a colorful person living in a beige world. And I'm like, that's how I feel. Like I am a color person. Like I am not the person that's going to go and pick up a brown yarn, which is ironic because I used to be the creative director for Bijou Basin Ranch, which for years we only had brown and cream yarn. And so it's funny to me about that. And it's not that I don't like brown yarn, and it's not that I don't like cream or white. It's not that. I literally just don't gravitate towards it. That's all it is. So like I have a sweater that I made out of Green Mountain Spinnery yarn, and it was this brown yarn. And my audience didn't believe they didn't believe it was my design because it was brown. And I'm like, no, it's really mine. Like this is mine. I did this. And so just because I just gravitate to color. I just love color so much. I don't
I
know.
only have to share why I'm laughing so that you
Sure.
don't think it's anything
No,
directly
you're
towards
good.
you. So we have a joke on our side as lifers because, look, I naturally am dealing with fibers that I shear. We focus in a different direction, which is always what's wonderful, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many different worlds. And so
Mhm.
because I'm more on the end of as the, shepherdess, and the shearer, so I deal
Yes.
with the natural, but at the same time, I am well aware that everybody likes color. So then I'll
Mhm.
work with indie dyers to take
Mhm.
some of, the
Pressure?
I was gonna say the more simpler yarns, but I don't want to say boring. I mean, I love my naturals, right? I mean, I'm a big proponent for like taking a natural and taking a color and putting it together. That's my
Yes. Yes. We did that all the time at Bijou. All the
yeah.
time.
But our joke with the brown is though, so that there's a lot of animals that are brown.
Mhm.
And my fiber friends know I'm like, listen, you folks, when it's on the animal, and every breeder says this, when it's on the animal, they're like, oh, that's such a gorgeous color. I'm like,
Mhm.
really? Because when it's yarn, you don't buy it.
Yep.
Like, you do not buy brown.
Yep.
I have to make brown sing. I have to make it dance. I have to put sparkles in it. I have to put shit in it. Like, and so we have this big joke, and then people will like send me articles about, New York Times, like brown is in. I'm like, great. Could you tell the masses? So,
Yeah.
I will keep brown on my shelf because I think it's important. And personally, brown goes with everything. But
Brown goes with everything. It
it
is really a great color. I just don't, when I'm at
no,
the store, brown is literally the last color I pick up. Whereas my good friend Brianna, brown, cream, gray, those are her go-to colors. She's
yeah,
not picking up a purple. Those are her colors. And if you go to like her Instagram, y'all know who I'm talking about, Brianna K, I'm sure of it. Go look, I mean, look at hers and then look at mine. It is the perfect definition of who we are. Hers is like this perfectly very soothing aesthetic, and mine is like, bam, in your face, here's some color. Like it is wild. It is
I love
wild.
it. And
But
it's
it's
just
just
funny because earlier in this TDOC, I had a mother. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can never remember. Don't yell at me. I know Indiana and Illinois are totally different, but sometimes I forget where people are from, and they very well might be from Indiana. If there's a southern part of Indiana that kind of runs into Kentucky, I don't know. It
there
doesn't.
is.
Okay, so then they must be from Indiana, and so they're a mother-daughter team. So I said, now my 3 o'clock. Now we're derailing, but my 3 o'clock in the morning doom scrolling, not necessarily perimenopause. I joke around. I'm like, it's called snoring husband and dogs. So I was up one night where I couldn't sleep, doom scrolling because you're useless, right? It's not a
Mhm.
productive.
Yep.
Well, I found this mother-daughter team, and they have an alpaca farm, blah blah blah, started doing all these other things, and they landed on this product called alpacalets. And they're now creating these beautiful braided, somebody can throw it in the chat, the technique, because I'm not going to remember it. It's a word I can't even pronounce. But they make these braided alpaca bracelets. They do all their own, put it together, clasping, blah blah blah. It's so cool. But the whole point was, they also, it was unprovoked, like they just came out talking, and they were like, yeah, and people don't buy brown, and like I just about fell over,
Yeah.
and I was like, see, so
Yeah.
it's just this
It's
running,
true.
but
Yeah.
it is true. And I just got the biggest kick, so I didn't want you to think I was laughing at you.
No, I totally get it. Like I said, I worked for Bijou Basin for, did you know Carl and Eileen for
Yes,
Bijou
yeah,
Basin? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I was their creative director for 5 years.
I
And
didn't know
so,
that.
yeah, like before that was the funny thing here. True story. I signed my contract to work for Red Heart on right before April Fool's Day, and they wanted to announce it on April 1st, not because it was April Fool's Day, because it was April 1st. Like they were just in their mind, it was the start of the month. And I had to tell Red Heart, I was like, listen, please take this for the heart behind it. You cannot announce it today because people will think it's a joke. Because I'm going from a luxury fiber to Red Heart. I'm like, please understand. And they were like, no, we totally get it. But that's what happened. Like I went from using this fantastic yak and silk and bamboo and all this, and then, I went to acrylic, which I have nothing against. I really loved working with Red Heart. I really loved working with them. And Red Heart is so much more than just the super saver that everybody knows, right? They had so many other things, and they were a fantastic company to work for. I really, really enjoyed it.
I'm sure this is not what they want to hear, but back in
Oh,
my horse days, that's what we used to braid the horses' manes.
that's cool. Did you know that they made Super Saver rough like that because people would not buy acrylic because it was too soft because they were used to rough wool? That's
Yeah,
why
no,
that's
and
why
I don't
Super Saver is
remember
so
which,
rough.
but it was like the Oreo heart. It was, and it was just your basic, and that's
Yeah.
what we used to braid our horses' manes for shows.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that's what people use for, yarn bombing and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like indestructible, of
yeah,
course, you know?
yeah, you're pulling
Absolutely.
tugging, So
Yeah.
I mean,
That
that's
shit's
my
not going anywhere, man. That is that is here to stay.
I mean, hey, it's got all sorts of applications. And like you said,
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
that is important too, because again, going from, from Bijou, like, yes, I mean, that is a very high-end luxury, and exclusivity exists, and it's not going to be something that's affordable to everybody. And then yet now your model and the world that you live in now, obviously it's so important to, try to create things that are accessible to everybody.
Yep.
And there's enough room for everything in the
Yeah.
world, right? Depending.
Yeah. I mean, we have stuff that's done in, I mean, I've designed things in Madeline Tosh and oh gosh, Rowan. And I mean, I've got all sorts of
I
different
have Trisha
yarns.
on tomorrow night. You just said Rowan.
I love Trisha. So
I
I was actually Trisha couple years ago. She reached out to me with she's still with Serdar.
I mean, she's with Rowan.
Okay, so she was also with Serdar there for a while.
All right. So I'm not so, but once she left Vogue Knitting Live, maybe there was something in between, or I don't know if that's connected.
Yeah, I don't know. But so she had reached out because she knew that I wasn't exclusive to Yarn Inspirations, and so we were trying to do something there. Anyways, I love Trisha. I think she's amazing. I mean, she's talk about a staple in this industry. She's
Oh,
fantastic.
100. I mean, and I
Yeah.
like fangirl over her all the time. I mean,
Yes.
her and, that whole crew kind of like took me under
Yeah.
their wing when I
Yeah,
first
yeah,
got
yeah.
started.
Yeah,
So,
they're
yeah,
fantastic. Please
so she's
tell her
going
I
to be
said
on tomorrow
hello.
night. I
Yeah,
will
tell her I said
let
hi
you
because
know.
she's fantastic. But yeah, so like I still use, I mean, I have like Miss Babs. I have all the different yarns, right? And I'm not afraid to use them because I'm able to give people like, hey, I'm using this, but this is the weight, this is the gauge. You can substitute, you could, it's, and then I feel like if you just educate people, this is why I'm using this. This is why I wouldn't use I wouldn't substitute a cotton if you're using an alpaca. You know what I mean? I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, just if I feel like if you teach people, then they're gonna make the right decision.
Do you still do any in-person stuff, or you're basically operating out of, this model now?
Yeah, I don't can I be frank?
Of
I don't
course.
like being in person that much anymore. And I think a big part of it is I'll just be completely honest. I got really tired of getting kicked in the face by people essentially and having to just sit back and say, thank you, do it again. I'm tired of having to be the nice person when I just don't want to be. And that's not really the person you want to be
But
when you're
that's
out in front of
interesting. You
people.
don't feel, and look, if we're having, and this is great. I mean,
If I'm just being completely honest.
well, but then, so I want to ask, but on the other hand, at least you were in front of people and would have an opportunity for an open discussion. You don't get keyboard warriors that come at you.
Oh yeah, certainly I do.
Right.
Certainly I do. But they're easier to ignore when they're not in your face. I mean, I
Gotcha.
have literally had somebody look at me and they were like, "You're Marley Bird, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes." And they go, "Oh, I could tell because of your laugh. I used to listen to your podcast, but I can't stand your laugh." And I go, "Thanks. What do you want me to say to that? How do you respond to that?" Oh, okay. I don't know. I, I guess the whole point there is, and I hope people don't go away thinking I'm an asshole.
Oh,
It's just I
oh my
don't
God.
want to be an asshole in front of people as much as I want to be an asshole because I'm tired of people being an asshole to me. And
Gotcha.
it's like people think they have a carte blanche because you're an online personality. And it's like, no, I'm a person too. Like, stop.
No,
You,
and you know what? This is so important because the other part I was going to talk about the business aspect of things because, I think in many ways, probably regardless of the volume you do or what it is that you do, sometimes people do lose sight of the fact that it is a business, or people lose sight of the fact that you are a person. Now,
yes.
should we all have a shield of armor and not be offended by people's comments? Or, I will say there is one business podcast that I listen to, and, he makes a really good point. And he says, for all the people that come into your comments and throw hate or shade or, take the time to put something negative, think of, and this is a really good point. Think about their day and think about who they are. Because if you know that you're not doing that to anyone else,
Mhm.
almost feel bad for that person that they're
Yeah.
taking time out of their day
Yeah.
to come to your site or your
Yeah.
page and to make negative comments.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think about that.
right?
Yeah, I think about that. And I also think about, I'm like, it says more about them than it says about me.
Cool.
And there are definitely way more positive comments than negative. Like several years ago, a friend of mine said I needed a smile file. So I'll get like really great emails or great comments and I screenshot in them and I put them in a smile file.
One of
So,
my old bosses, she used to tell me to create this Atta Girl file. I
mhm,
mean, now this was, of course, really before computer stuff, so
yeah,
you print it
yeah, yeah,
out.
yeah,
But yeah, the
yeah,
same thing, absolutely.
yeah. It helps. But so yeah, the whole in-person thing, I think it's just I feel like I'm just getting older and I guess the whole thing there is I feel like I can't bite my tongue as much
Gotcha.
as much as you can online. Does that make me a bad person, you guys? I mean, I feel like that's like one of those things I'm protecting myself and
No,
I'm
I mean, hey, everybody has their boundaries, everybody knows their limits. And, I think what's also important is probably nobody here, right, would think to do that. And,
no. Yeah.
but so they're almost like, wow, really? People do that out
I know.
there?
I hope y'all don't think I'm a total
Oh,
bad
no, but
person.
it's just, I mean, one, not everybody likes those kinds of venues, right? Not, first of all, not everyone likes to travel. I mean, especially post COVID, I feel like everybody's dynamics changed. Everybody learned that there were different ways to do things, and we were able to make choices. Do we want to be driving all over the damn country,
Yeah.
selling our wares, or do we want to continue to do things from the comfort of our home?
Right.
And some people created a mix of both. But,
Yeah.
I think it's the realistic portion of it, of that we are real people. And
Yeah.
honestly, for me, that's what TDOC is about. We can talk about what you do all day long and all your patterns, and that is amazing because so many of these people do not know of you, which I'm so happy about because you have such a bigger presence than I do. But I'm still glad that my little community is now learning about you. But at the same time,
Hope
is
I'm
it,
making a good impression because I feel like I'm just like
oh, don't be
digging
silly.
myself a hole.
No, 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 no. Do not be
I
silly.
just feel I've hit the point in my life I feel like I could just be honest with people. It's like this is where we are. This is where we are.
Absolutely. Here's what I always say. There's a way to do it, right? With a bow. Like that's what I also say too. My favorite expression is like, look, I love constructive criticism and I don't think everybody can take it, but I think it's also how you deliver it, right? And I
Yeah.
always say, I am more than happy to take constructive criticism, but be kind and deliver it with a bow.
Yeah.
If you're going to deliver it negatively, it's going to be received negatively, and then you're not going to get your point across and you're going to hurt people's feelings. So it's just something to remember that way,
I
right?
will honestly tell you, like hurting anybody's feelings on purpose or upsetting anybody upsets me more than anything you could imagine. Like that is never my intent. So if you're ever wondering how I have replied to something, always read it back to yourself with a smile on your face because that is how I'm writing it. Always. So if you're like, because you can't read tone, right? You don't know what the
Yeah,
tone
that's
is.
such a hard thing.
But if you read everything I write with a smile on your face, you will know what my tone is intended. Like that's 100% where I am because that's where it is. Now, one of my best friends, she says that what she is going to give, she goes, I'm going to match your energy. If you're coming to me with negative energy, I'm going to match that. And that's what I'm coming back to you with. She's like, she's in the match your energy phase of her life. She's like, just, you come to me and you have a problem and you're kind about it. I'm going to bend over backwards to help you. But if you come to me demanding and, whatever, and she's like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm matching your energy. And I was like,
Well, and the interesting thing is the demographic of pretty much everyone in my community. I don't know necessarily yours, but I'm guessing, we're all getting to that place where, yeah, you have a level of self confidence in which you do the best you can, right? But you
yeah,
realize you don't have to please everybody. You
yeah,
can't please everybody,
yeah,
and that the most important person is you at the end of the
yeah,
day.
yeah,
Because if you're not happy with what you're doing, if you are not bringing your patterns and your knitting and your crocheting with joy, people are going to see that, they're going to feel it, and it's not going to resonate with them.
yeah.
So I
That's true.
think that's the most important
That's true.
thing for
Yeah,
sure.
so the whole teaching in person, it would take a very special thing. Like the last time I taught in person, I did it for my friend Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. He asked me to come and teach at his retreat. So I went and taught at his retreat. And then locally, one of my local knitting guild asked me to come and teach something. So I did that. Um, but it's very rare that I will go teach in person anymore. Like,
Your podcast,
yeah.
is that through like if you're not doing as much on YouTube anymore, is that through the Marley Bird
So
House?
that is on YouTube. So
Okay.
that is one of the things that was suggested to me to do the podcast on YouTube, trying to get YouTube's attention again. And so every week there's
Wait,
Mondays with
wait, I
Marley.
have to ask. So, did you stop that for a while? Because do you remember back in the day,
Yes.
you had me on something?
Yes.
I don't even
Yeah.
know. Was that a
Yeah,
podcast?
I had I was the first crochet podcast on iTunes way back when. So
Okay.
that it's the Yarn Thing podcast is what I did. And then I think it was in 2022 timeframe. I needed a break from it. And so I just stopped doing it.
Okay.
And then last year, at January of last year, I started again. So I do Mondays with Marley, and at 12:30 every Monday, I come on. We have guests sometimes. A lot of the times it's me and Robin talking, sometimes about the industry, sometimes about life. I mean, it's literally just hanging out. And sometimes we'll teach things, sometimes we'll talk about patterns we have coming out. Like it's all over the place of what we're doing. But yeah, the Yarn Thing podcast, I stopped doing that a while ago because I
Okay.
just I just needed a break from it.
Yeah.
So I
No.
stopped doing that. And then with YouTube, it's I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on there. Like I said, I think I have some ideas, but I don't know. So it's
But you
just
do post your podcast to there?
yes, yeah. It's live on YouTube.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
12:30 every Monday. It's live on YouTube.
Nice. And then
Yep.
you two are in two different locations, though, correct?
The
Do
what?
you do it with your best friend or you do it yourself? The podcast.
Robin is on it with me. Most of the time Robin's on it with me. So we go live through a sort of like this, but it's with StreamYard. So we're both live on there through StreamYard. And then if we have a guest, they come in through StreamYard as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's what I
Yeah.
was going to say. You two are in two different locations, but yet
Yeah. Yeah. She's in Pittsburgh and I'm here. Yeah.
nice. Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
that kind of like it's just having the banter bouncing off of each other, and but do
Yeah.
you have a format otherwise? Like, are there certain things that you do and cover each time, or is it just sort of
Not necessarily. I have a vague idea of what I'd like to mention every time, but honestly, if I have things too formatted, I will never do it. Like
Uh-huh.
that's again, as I get older and I learn more about myself, if you try and put me in a square box, I'm just not gonna fit. So like scheduling everything out precisely and it's just not who I am. I need to be able to just go with the flow and have a conversation and just what will be, and that's kind of what we do. If we know we want to talk about a particular pattern that day, we'll do that or whatnot. But for the most part, we just dive in. Yeah.
That's good. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always laugh because Jill, my office manager, I'm very like off the cuff, leave things till a deadline, like
Yes.
work best under pressure, do not have anything scripted. And everyone knows from my side, I'm always like, Jill is like Julie, the cruise director from the Love Boat.
Got
She's
you.
chasing after me with the
Yep.
clipboard.
Yep.
She's got everything itemized.
Yes.
And you know what?
Yes.
It helps me because I'm not going to do that,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm not doing it. Nope. I actually jokingly threw 24 days of quickies. You see this? Did you
yeah.
ever have one of these?
Is it like a planner?
It's a planner
Huh. I
from,
still keep my planner.
okay, so this is my planner from my sophomore year of high school.
Ah,
And I found it. And the funny thing is, it is just as empty as my planner is like today. Like, so I brought it out to show my friend Lindsay, who's all about planning. I'm like, I have struggled with planning since I was in high school. It's just not who I am. So I have found the way I work best. And as long as I'm allowed to do that, you're going to get the most out of me. And
sure.
so, again, I guess that comes with age and just knowing myself. I know how I work. I know how I work best. And if you just let me do it, you're gonna get like top-notch stuff. So it's like
Hey,
just
being
come on.
self-aware is an amazing thing. And not necessarily everybody is, or maybe some people don't want to be, but I mean, just knowing how you work and work best. That's why I always say I'm a deadline kind of girl. If there is a date or a deadline, you better give it to me. I'll probably bring it right to that. Like I have a deadline for something first thing tomorrow morning. Like could I have started to work on it today?
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah.
but I got a little busy, so
Yeah.
I will wake up early tomorrow morning and be damn sure I'm going to
Yeah.
get it done because somebody said I need it by Monday morning. Absolutely sounds great.
Okay. So that's it. If you need it Monday morning, tell me you need it by Friday night. Don't tell me
Oh,
Monday morning.
interesting. Okay.
And if you need it Monday morning, don't tell me I need it Monday because I'm going to get it to you by Monday night.
Right.
Like
No, no, yeah. You give me a time frame. Like
So I
I
usually will, I'm usually like, okay, I honest to God, this is what I'm like, so Hirschner's, I'll tell Mary, I'm just like, okay, Mary, in your head, know what your drop dead deadline is. Don't tell me what it is. Go ahead and pick a date that's at least 2 weeks before that and just pick something there and tell me that date. Don't tell me what your actual drop deadline is. Like, don't
but
tell
don't
me.
you know in your mind that
No,
she
because I don't know if she just picked a week or 2 weeks or what she's done. I'm just like, no, because I just need that little cushion. I know myself, and it's because I think I have more time than I actually have. Like
yeah.
I'm an optimist. So like you say you have 5 minutes to go somewhere. I'm like, I got so much time. I could do all of this stuff in 5 minutes. And it's like, no, bitch, just put on your shoes. You're walking out the door. Like that's what you
That
got
is
time to do.
so me trying to get to an appointment.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I will say, if you give me a drop dead deadline for a project, I will make sure I make it. I'm going to bring it
Oh,
to the wire. I
yeah.
don't, and if you tell me 3 days before, I'm going to start to know. So then I'll push it. But I am you in that sense. Like if I know I have a dentist appointment at 1:30, I'm
Mhm.
going to do everything I can
Mhm.
possibly do.
Mhm.
And then next thing you know, you're like, shit, traffic, or
Oh,
oh, one
always,
more thing, you got to run back.
always,
The phone
always.
rings, and then
Yep.
next thing you know, I'm late. I'm always
Yep.
late. I'm always late.
I'm a high school coach. I coach high school track and field, and my athletes
You
know
have
like
a
I
lot of
don't.
spare time.
Yeah, I do that in the spring. And it worked out really great because when I stopped traveling and teaching, I switched to being a high school coach. So I got to coach both of my boys in high school. And my youngest son actually ended up winning the Indiana State discus throw a couple years ago. And then he got a full scholarship to college. So he does D1 track and field. And I'm his coach. So it all worked out really well. And I love coaching, but my athletes know like, I'm not that person that's like, you're late, you're gonna go run laps. I'm like, shit happens, man. It's
Right.
my life is not ending because you're 5 or 10 minutes late. Now, it becomes like a habit, like you're just because you're being dismissive, that's different. But it happens. Life
I
happens.
love
I'm just,
somebody in the chat says we have time blindness. It's an
oh,
ADHD
yes.
thing, of which
That's
I'm well
exactly what it is. Yes,
aware.
I absolutely have time blindness. It's really, really bad. And then, yeah, I have ADHD, and Robin calls it my superpower because I can do so much and juggle so many things. And that's why we can do all these events and do things last minute and just get all the things done that we do because of me. Like she works differently than I do, but through the years, we know where she works best and where I work best. And so, it just, I don't know, we just make it work. Like it goes really great. I don't
Oh, and
know.
that's great. And it's great when you have like a team or a partner or, somebody that you can work with in that sense that you can have a great time with,
Oh,
you
yeah.
as well. Because this is what I always say everybody I work with, collaborate with, whatever the case may be, I have to enjoy doing it because none of us are getting rich doing this. So you
Right.
might as well have a good time while
Yeah.
you're doing it, right?
Well, and it's nice when you have somebody who understands that deadlines, we give our own deadlines are arbitrary, right? Unless it's like something that like turkey trot, it has to be at Thanksgiving, right? We know that. But the other stuff that we're doing, if we need to push the release date a day or two, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Like I'm not gonna like if your kid gets like if Robin's kid gets sick or something happens and we've got to push a deadline, like we're not we're not curing cancer here. Like it's okay. So it's nice to be able to have the flexibility together and understand, we're just human out here trying to do the best that we can.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And
yeah.
then just to make sure we don't miss a question in the chat.
Yeah.
So Julie was asking if you do pattern designs for, is it, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, but
Kirschner's.
Hirschner's, yeah.
So I started doing more work for Hirschner's at the start of this year. We did a couple collaboration things where we did like some events with them. We did like a one ball wonder event and stuff. So I don't design stuff for them specifically, but they purchase my designs, and you will find some of my stuff in their catalogs. And then we will use their yarns quite a bit for different events because they are fantastic to work with. And if there's a particular yarn that they don't carry that we want to bring in, they will reach out to a company to bring it in so that they can carry it and handle all of the shipping and all of that stuff. So I do work with them, and I really have enjoyed working with them over this last year. Like it's been really nice. Yeah, but it's not exclusive or anything like that. Like they're still just they're my designs, and they'll be like, hey, we like this one, we want to highlight it because it features this yarn, and so they'll put it in their catalog.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's just another way to get it out there for you, right?
That's really all it is. It's all a numbers game, right? It's all about just getting your face in front of people and just trying to make people happy, I guess. I don't know.
Before we go back to the business thing, I want to ask you because I know lately, and I don't even think it's since we've been chatting, because even prior to that, like stuff would be popping up on my page. And I'm imagining, is it your son that you're doing like a lot of reels with, or who is that? I'm assuming, is that your son?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I feel like it's like him, and then there was like another kid. I mean, they're not kids, but so
the
I feel like all of a sudden I was seeing that. So I was curious, like, is this something new? Like, he was adorable, and you're like, is he now like crocheting? Like, where did that all come about?
so that's Josiah. So Josiah is my youngest.
Okay.
The my audience calls him Baby Bird. So Josiah is the one that won the state discus and then now is a thrower in college. And then over the summer, he needed to work out. He needed to have a work schedule that allowed him to be able to work out and still throw over the summer with me because I coached him over the summer. And so I pitched the idea to him. I was like, why don't you work for me? Like, take over my social media. These are the things that I need done. And I'm not easy to work for. This is going to sound, I'm just not easy to work for. If I have to sit down and teach you how to do all the things, I might as well just do them myself. So figure it out. Like you're old enough to figure it out. Like you're on social media every day. This cannot be that hard, right? That sounds so bad. That's such a mother talking, but that's really kind of where I approach it. I'm like, these are the things I need. And he asked me just a few questions and then he just tackled it, just went full bore and went all in. And he's been doing amazing. We are up 200% year over year. You can tell from it was before Josiah, after Josiah. Like it's night and day. And then my other athlete, Jordan, who is actually Josiah's girlfriend's brother. We're very close with that family. Like I really hope so. Josiah's girlfriend is Taylor. I hope Josiah and Taylor are endgame because I just love them so much. But Jordan is in a lot of the videos with me too, or they do reels together. But Josiah, yeah, he's worked for me over the summer, so that way we could have the time off that we needed to go and lift. So I started lifting this summer too, and then so we would lift together and then do our work and then we would go throw with the throwers. And so it just worked out really great. And so as he's at school, it worked out he could still do it part-time at school. So he's been doing things at school and then now he's home over the winter break. So he's been working all winter break with me. And it's nice. So he picked up knitting needles to learn how to knit. So he has learned how to knit. And he had, did he bring it down here? He has a one of the my Erin Lane bags and he had some of my old yarn. So I had a yarn with Red Heart called Chic Sheep. So he was playing with that, messing with that to learn how to knit. Um, so that way he understood what was going on as he's, promoting things.
Yeah.
But he's learning so much about online presence and working for a company on how to get interaction, whether it's emails or social media. And then he's learning more and more about the AI aspect of it all because that's where everything's going. I'm just like, take advantage of that. Like, take the advantage of the time you're learning here to learn all of that, put together systems and stuff that you can do for other companies if you want to. Or if you want to partner up with me as time goes on and this works for you, like I could design forever, right? I need you to do this side because if you take that off my hands, I get more time over here. So
Going
like
to
right
school
now
for anything related to that or no?
is what?
Is he going to school for anything
Yes.
related to that?
He's
Okay.
going to school right now for he has a business major with a minor in marketing.
Okay.
So he's doing stuff with that. And he's only a sophomore year, right? So I'm just like, I can't wait till you get into the classes where they want you like to apply this stuff and you could say, well, I work for this company and this is what I've been doing. And so
Yeah.
it'll be nice. It's cute because he loves to see the reach that his reels and stuff are getting and he loves to read the replies of people are posting and like he just really enjoys it a lot. So he's doing a really good job with everything there. I was going to say something and then I forgot.
So does he come to you with the script? Because you're in obviously either some of them, all of them. I don't know. Whenever I see it, seems to be all of you. But is he like? So I think that's great. Like, is he?
Sometimes he'll
He's
come with an
saying to
idea.
you, okay.
Yeah, he'll come with an idea and then we'll do it. Or he'll go to his friends with an idea and then they'll do it. And then sometimes I'll do my own. Sometimes he'll do his like he'll take some things up to school and him and his roommate Luca, who's from Germany, who all the women love Luca. Luca, I told Luca because I got somebody emailed me. They're like, if Luca doesn't start an OnlyFans after this, he's missing out. And I was like, oh my God, he is a 20-year-old boy. I'm just like, what are you doing? So Luca is just cracks me up. But Josiah will, do reels with his roommates and stuff. It's just fun. I don't know. I get a kick out of it because he has a different perspective than I do, and it's just a younger perspective.
Well, that's what I was
Um,
going to ask. Do you know if you've seen like has your demographic changed at all? Like, has he pulled in a younger crowd at all? Or
Not necessarily the younger crowd. He's just making all of the cougars very happy.
I was gonna say if you didn't change the demographic, he's
No,
increasing the happiness of your
that's
demo.
exactly it. That's exactly it. Like my personal trainer, Jeelan, I told him, I was like, Jeelan, I need you to start modeling for me. And he's like, I can't do that, Coach Bird, because he's my assistant coach. He's like,
Uh-huh.
I can't do that, Coach Bird. I was like, Jeelan, all the women will love you. You need to come. I'm like, he has dark skin and big muscles and dreadlocks. Like he's very, very handsome. I'm like, Jeelan, I've got sweaters that will fit you. You need to model for me. So I'm trying to reach everybody with the men stuff because that's a whole nother ask. Like we don't just do thing for this is a whole plot thing. I not plot, but like what do they say? Like bury the lead or whatever. Everything we do is size inclusive, like everything. Literally from before size inclusivity was a thing, because I'm a big girl. I don't know if y'all can tell that or not, but I wanted to make things that could fit me. So I have been designing things that were larger from the day I started designing. So everything we do is size inclusive, even when it comes to men's stuff. So we don't do just women's stuff. We do a lot of men's stuff. We do very little amigurumi because that's just not my cup of tea. And if we have any amigurumi on my website, I'm usually buying the design from my friend Megan Kreiner, who is a Disney animator. And so it's like top-notch stuff, because I just like my brain just doesn't work that way. I can't think, which is ridiculous. I can make a sweater all day long, but making a teddy bear is really difficult for me. I know it's the wildest thing, but it is. Um, where was I going with this? Oh, so we make things a lot of adult stuff, very
Right.
few kids stuff, men stuff, accessories, home decor, all of that. But size inclusivity is huge, huge for us. Um, yeah, I don't know.
So, and then, so that even is another question, like you were saying, as far as, getting this, coach to model and all
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, in terms of all the aspects of your business, so are you doing all the photography of your patterns, things like that? Do you resource that out to somebody? Are you using
No,
AI for that now?
no.
Like,
No, I do all the photography. I do all the videos. I, film videos, edit my videos. I model a lot of the stuff anymore. Several years ago, I decided I was tired of making things in a small size, and I was willing to start paying contractors a little bit more money to make things in my size so that I could actually wear what I had. Um, Cheryl has made several things of mine, like several, several, several. Um, and so I just started modeling things on I was a 3X. And so I just figured it was important that people saw things on a 3X body. It's like this is what it's going to look like. Um and so yeah, I do all the modeling. If I have things that are smaller, um usually it's like the older stuff that we're republishing or whatnot, I'll have Taylor model it. Or if we're making something that I know I just would never wear, I'd make it Taylor size with JoJo's girlfriend. Um and have her do the modeling. But yeah, I do all the photography and I do all of that. I'm not opposed to AI photography stuff where it like takes you and it does the background differently. Like I'm not opposed to it. I think it's still my product, right? So I'm not opposed to it. I'm not against it. And I feel like if you're gonna battle that, it's 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 coming whether you want it or not. You know what I mean? But I do want to make sure that people know my patterns are 100% written by us. They are not AI written. My patterns are fully tech edited, either by Robin or my other tech editor is Shiri Moore, who's fantastic. Shiri and I,
never
do you know
sharing.
Shiri?
I'm
Shiri
from
and
a
I
long
have been
time
literally
ago.
working together since the beginning.
Yeah.
She edited my very first pattern, and we've worked together for 18 years. So,
I
like,
mean, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, and I can't
yeah.
remember what capacity we crossed paths, worked together. I do not
She
remember.
used to do a lot of designing stuff and didn't work at Vogue. She did a lot of designing for
Yeah,
Vogue. And
then that's
yeah,
probably
so
what
she
it
lives
was.
in Colorado now. And so I'm literally the only person she does tech editing stuff for anymore. So Shiri and I work very closely together on all the knitting stuff. Robin and I work very closely together on all the crochet stuff. We provide charts, we provide written words, we provide stitch diagrams, we provide um, I don't know, like schematics, all the things you would think of for the New Year's Eve. Just because it's a caveat, because this is what the New Year's Eve make along. It was just charts because it was all mosaic stitches. Which if you're gonna do mosaic, that's you follow a chart. Like it's what you do. And so I had people who were asking for the written words. So we're working on putting the written words together. It was one of those anomalies that I was like, people don't need written words. Like you follow a chart. If you're doing mosaic, you follow a chart. It's not hard, but anyways, I just mentioning that because in case somebody was like, well, there weren't words with it. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
It's color work. Um, I don't know. I was gonna say something else and I forgot. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
It comes and it pops in. If I don't say things immediately, they come and they go. Sometimes I have like a little post-its and I will like something will pop in my head and I'll jot it on the post-it so that I can remember it. Otherwise, it's gone. It's here and
that's all
it's
right. I mean, that
gone
happens to everybody. I mean, how many times we
constantly.
walk into a room and then we're like,
Yeah.
What did I
constantly.
come in here
Yeah.
for? And then
Oh,
you
I
have
know
to
what I was
go
gonna
back.
say. So Josiah, he saw how successful the 24 Days of Quickies was and how much people really enjoyed that. So he decided on his own he was going to do a big January thing, like, and he's calling it Treat Yourself January, where for the whole month of January, he's taking three of my patterns that are free on my website. So they're free on my website. And then he's giving a 75% coupon if they want to purchase the ad-free PDF from my Shopify store. So he's like highlighting, I think it comes out to like 91 patterns all month long. And that's going like gangbusters. Like it's wild. He's so excited. He's like, this is so great. I don't know. It's neat to have him understand more what I'm doing, because he's been around this, since he was a baby. Um, and this summer, my family has always given me a hard time. I'm jumping all over the place. My family's always given me a hard time about like I'll come upstairs to grab my food and then I'm just like I have to go back downstairs and work and oh you gotta always go downstairs, blah blah. And so I was upstairs this summer trying to get and it was right before the Slay the Holidays, which was the Christmas in July event. And so I'm upstairs. My husband's like, "Can't you just sit down and eat dinner with me?" And before I could say anything, Josiah was like, "No, Dad, she has to go downstairs. If she doesn't go downstairs and get this stuff done, we aren't going to get this stuff up tomorrow. And we have to get this stuff up tomorrow because it goes live in a week. She's got it." And like, he's like just rattling off. He looks at me, he goes, "Mom, go downstairs." And I was like, "Yes, sir." Okay, I'll go. But it was the first time anybody in my family fully grasped that it's like, this is not just a choice. I'm some workaholic. I mean, yes, I love to work, but it was like this, if I don't go do this, we're not going to have money next month. You know what I mean? It's like this has to happen. So that's been really fun to watch that and I'm going to cry. To have him
But don't
verbally
worry, I've
express
cried like two or three times already in
I
TDS.
usually, yeah. I wear my heart I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot, which is why I can't just turn my head when people are just mean all the time. I just can't. But he has like expressed verbally how much he appreciates what I do and understands what I do and is just in awe of what I do. And I don't know. It's different coming from him now that he really is on the inside and understands. Um, so it's been really cool. I don't know. It's been really cool. And the fact that he still wants to do it, like he's gets excited about it, is neat. But yeah, you guys, if you are part of my newsletter and you get, an email every now and then from Baby Bird, that's Josiah.
I
So
love, I love it.
yeah,
I mean,
it's funny because he's not, mind you, he's 6'5". He's 6'5", 300 pounds. Like he's not tiny. He's a big kid. So yeah.
well, it
Anyways,
sounds like not, I don't want to say a blessing in disguise, but it sounds like one of those things you probably like never saw coming. And then
ever.
it's just, and it's just sort of like,
Yeah.
hey, this is something we can do. And then look at that because, right,
Yeah.
like how just exactly like what you said in terms of, and it's nothing against the rest of your family, but, if everybody is operating on their own accord, like I laugh and joke. I mean, my husband probably couldn't name even a quarter of the animals that are out there or
Yeah.
even tell you a fraction of what I do, but and that's okay. But it's great sometimes when people can have, within your circle, a
Yeah.
perspective of, what goes on and how hard you work, and that it's it doesn't happen unless you do it. But it's
Yeah.
also about the community. I mean, that's why I do this. It's
Yeah.
also about the community that you've built and the people that
Yes.
get to know you and want
Yes.
to support you and want to be part of making you successful. And
And that's, I mean, I absolutely love, I hope people really understand that I'm not like, at the start I was talking about all the different things about, I don't want to be in front of people and stuff. It's just because I love the community I have online. Like I have such supportive people and people like they've become my friends and people I've never met, but I feel like I know them because I've been communicating with them for 10 years online, and I don't know, I really enjoy it. And as far as like Josiah, I never saw him working for me. And because Caden, my middle son, he tried to work for me a couple years ago and it lasted 2 days. It was it was so bad. I was like, you need to go. Like, this is not going to work, right? So last summer, when Josiah told him and his girlfriend, like told Caden and Caden's girlfriend and Caden's girlfriend's family that he was going to work for me, they kind of all made fun to him, like kind of like, oh, of course, dad, mommy's little baby's going to go work for mommy, you're going to get have an easy summer. And Caden was like, no, you guys don't understand. She is not easy to work for. Like, this is not like some cakewalk for him. This is not easy. So then when he saw how well Josiah was doing, like Caden's like giving him all sorts of mad props. He's like, dude, I couldn't work for mom. There's no way I could work for mom. And so it's been really, I don't know. I've really loved it. It's been awesome. Yeah.
That
And it fits really well too, because I mean, before I was his coach, I was the mom always taking him to all the different sporting events. So we literally, since the day he was born, we have always been together. Always, right? And then I became his coach, and
that
it
can't
it,
be easy.
what?
I said that can't be easy.
It was actually fantastic. It
And
was,
it must be then a similar dynamic. Being his coach is really no different in a way, I would think, than being his boss. So maybe that's
yeah.
why it's so sick.
That's what I'm thinking. Like we work really well together, and I mean, I coached him not like a mom, just like I coached him like I coach. I coach like I teach. If you guys watch how I teach, like I'm very supportive. I'm not a football coach. Does that make any sense? I'm not that in your face whatever. I'm a very encouraging person, and I'm always looking at the positives of everything, and it's just how I am. And Josiah responds to that way better than a football in your face, yeah, 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 sort of style, right? So much so when he was talking to colleges, he had told me he really wanted to go to a college with a female coach. He goes, Mom, you're the best coach I've ever had.
Oh,
He's like, and I really feel like it's because you're a woman, and it's the whole style, the dynamic is just different. Now he did go to Purdue Fort Wayne, where it's a male coach, and it's not that he's a feminine coach. It just he he coaches a little bit like me, and so it just is a very good fit for him up there. But it was something he was very aware of. He knew going in. Um, but yeah, we make a really good team. We just make a really good team. Yeah.
well, and that's nothing like being able to have like, mother son time and,
Yeah,
in other ways. And so do you have three children? Because you said you have a
I
middle, that's
do.
Hayden,
Yeah.
which by the way, we had a llama named Kaden too.
Did
So
you? Yeah. So
yeah.
my
So who's
oldest,
your oldest?
her name is Alora, so she's my daughter. And she's at home. She is attempting to be an author. So she is in the middle of literally writing like four different books,
Nice.
and just trying to find her way in life right now. So to me, I feel like if 2020 taught us anything, is that you can have everything planned and it can all go to hell in a handbasket. So take your time to figure out where you want to be, and there's no rush. I mean, I'm not gonna kick my daughter out of my house, right? So that's not gonna happen. And so she's here, and she's trying to live out her dream. And so the only reason I can do my dream is because John allowed me to do the same thing, the same opportunity to do the same thing, right? Because Lord knows I wasn't making money the first year I was trying to do all this, it takes a while to get going. So I don't know. I'm hoping that will go really well for her. But she's at home trying to be an author. Caden, this is his senior year at Purdue Fort Wayne. He was also on the track team up there, and he got a really good job this year. So he quit track to start going down the path of he works now. He's buying a house. He's like
Oh, wow.
having a house built. It's wild. Like I don't know. It's wild to watch your son become a man.
Totally put
Uh,
it all together, right?
That's
That's
such
amazing.
a yeah. I'm so proud of Caden. I'm so proud of Caden. He had an IEP in growing up in school and such, and has really had to battle and fight for everything. And he's just blossomed, and he's excelled and just done so great. And got a fantastic job, and he's doing it. He's starting his life. It's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
great.
it's really awesome. Yeah.
Well, and then before, of course, we get too far into and have to end, I'd love to go all the way back because I always think it's interesting how people get started in this. So I'd love to hear, where your was it knitting, crocheting, like where the whole journey started for you, who taught you, what was
Sure.
the beginnings and what did that look like?
So my grandmother used to crochet when I was growing up, and I would see her, like, she didn't live close to us, so we would visit her every summer, and I would see her crochet, and I was like, I always wanted to learn that. I was always a crafty kid. And it wasn't until my grandfather passed away, and I had invited my grandma up to Colorado State University because I had just transferred schools, and I invited her up for a weekend right before Thanksgiving, and I took her to dinner. And there weren't like any bingo parlors or anything open. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So we went to that world famous yarn store called Walmart, and I bought myself some Red Heart yarn and a boy crochet hook and a Leisure Arts booklet. And we went back to my condo and I said, I want you to teach me how to crochet. And so she taught me how to crochet that night, and I have not looked back ever since. I just became absolutely obsessed with it. Um, then graduated college,
What did you go to school for?
speech communication. So this, just real basic stuff.
But I'm assuming you didn't know it was this when you went
No,
to
had no
school.
idea.
Yeah.
No clue what I was going to do. Graduated, became a financial planner for Northwestern Mutual. Worked there for 5 years, and while I was working there, that's when 60 Minutes, I think, did a special about blogs and what they were, and somebody did a special about the yarn harlot, and I was like, "What is this?" Like somebody, and she was, you know, waxing poetically about socks. And I'm like, you can knit socks? So I learned to knit so I can knit socks. So I learned to knit. My very first project was a pair of socks. And I became obsessed with knitting. And so much like that's all I could think about was knitting and crochet. Like I was at work and that's all I was thinking about. And I decided that I didn't want to be in the financial world anymore. And so I left, and I'll never forget the guy I worked for. He was like, "So, what's your plans now? What are you going to do now?" And I said, "I think I'm going to do something in the yarn industry." And I swear to God, he goes, "That's a new one. Good luck with that." Like just like that, right? He was like, "Okay." So he's still my financial planner guy, and he's like, "You've done really well." I'm like, "Thank you. I knew this is what I was supposed to do, right?" So I left Northwestern Mutual, got pregnant with Josiah. So then it was like, what am I gonna do? Because by then I have 3 kids. So doing daycare is just it's just silly because you're just going to work to pay for childcare. And so I started a blog. I started 2 blogs, a knit blog and a crochet blog, because at the time you couldn't do them together, even though I did both. And I was like, this is silly. It's not about knitting or crochet, it's about the yarn. So then I started the yarn thing blog, and I had somebody comment that they were like, you're pretty funny. You should do a podcast. So I asked Jeeves what a podcast was, and my very first podcast was Here I Go Down the Rabbit Hole. Who wants to join me? That's all I said. And that was the Yarn Thing podcast. So it was the third knitting podcast on iTunes, the first crochet podcast. And I just started doing it. And from there, I was interviewing designers, and I made a comment to Drew Borski, the crochet dude, and Robin Chichula that I wanted to be a designer. And Drew says to me, if you want to do that, you need to go to TNNA. And I was like, what is this? And he goes, well, it's this industry thing and it's in 2 weeks. So I sent an email to my family and I said, I really would like to go to this so I can attempt to be a designer, meet people. And they said, yes, I could email people and reach out. I said, but and this is not an ego thing. It's like, you all know that I'm much more memorable if you meet me in person. Like it's hard to forget me, not just because I'm saying, oh, I'm this big personality. I'm a big person. You're not going to forget me if I walk in your booth. You're just not. And I convinced my family of that. And they were like, okay. So my dad gave me money for the hotel room because we were broke. He gave me money for the hotel room. My uncle paid for my flight, and I was at TNNA, and I met all the different people, and I was able to walk into the booths and present myself as a designer and as a podcaster. So it was like, you can help me, I can help you sort of thing. Um, got my first design gigs from there, got my first book deal from there. On the flight home from that TNNA is when I met Carl from Bijou Basin Ranch. That next weekend is when I started working for him. Um, it's just my the the story of my trajectory of where I am is literally unbelievable. Like if you saw it in a movie, you'd be like, that just doesn't happen. There's no way that's not true. But when I tell you, I feel like I'm doing what God has put me on this earth to do, and that He has opened the doors, the windows, and closed the things that needed to be closed in order to get me where I am now. I truly, truly believe that. I truly believe this is what I'm supposed to do. In my heart of hearts, I know it. I just know it. And the things that have happened in my mind, like collaborate that. You know what I'm trying to say. Like that's just what it is. Now that's not to say I haven't worked hard. Yes, I've worked hard, but I've also been given opportunities to work hard in different aspects that I never could have imagined doing. And at the end of the day, I love what I'm doing. I love it. I would win, if I could win the lottery tomorrow, I would still do this. I would still get up and come and do this because I love it that much. I would no longer have ads on my website. I would just, everything would be free. I'd be doing it though because I love it. Um,
Signs. If I won the lottery, right, there would be signs, you
yeah,
know.
there'd be signs. No more ads on my website. That'd be great. But my husband's always like, I'd quit. He's like, I'd quit. He goes, I know you'd still work. You could work while we're on the road traveling. I was like, damn right I would, because I really like it. I like it a lot. And I like interacting with the people. I like the creative aspect of it. I like the pressure of designing things and doing make-alongs and having the community. I like all of that. It's very fulfilling. And so, I don't know. That's the cliffs notes of my journey to where I am now, and just trying to find everything. Like this is the first time in a long time that I don't work for anybody. Like I don't work for Bijou Basin. I don't work for Red Heart. I don't work for Yarn Inspirations. I don't work for Hirschner's. It's just Marley Bird. And so that's a whole different dynamic in the business side of it all. Trying to establish myself and my own name out there more than always trying to promote and push
Being
other people.
associated with somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that has hurt me. It has helped me, right? Working for other companies, I was financially compensated. But in the scheme of my own brand, it hurt me
Mhm.
because a lot of my stuff is associated with other brands that I have no control over.
Right.
And then people just don't know who I am. So I've spent the last year trying to get my name out there more. And I guess that's really the gist of it. Just trying to get my name out there more, having people hopefully like me for me, not just because I worked with Red Heart or worked with Yarn Inspirations or worked with Peyton's or worked with Bijou or worked with Jimmy Bean's Wool or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like I want to
Well,
I
in that
want to be
sense,
liked.
there's always going to be collaborations, right? Because that's just the
Yeah.
nature of the beast.
Yes.
But you're still going to be Marley Bird working with
Yes.
versus, like you said, being the face of, something
Mhm.
else. So for
Yes.
the foreseeable future, then this is where you are at this point
Yes.
and plan to stay there.
Yes. Yeah. This is what I want to do. Like this, I want to be Marley Bird. I don't want to have to like, I don't want to have to sugarcoat what I want to say. If I want to say shit, I want to be able to say shit. Like I don't want to have to be like, well, you can't say that because you have a clause in your contract. Bullshit. I want to be able to say it. Like I know
Well,
that sounds really trivial, you guys, but when you've been silenced for 10 years, you just want to be able to say that's bullshit, you know? How many times can I say shit on a podcast? But I mean, it's little things like that, right? And again, it's the whole smile and because you're the face of another brand, you don't want to hinder them or anything. I just want to be who I am. And not that I was putting a fake face on before. It was just that,
no, but
you
there's
know,
a different, yeah, there's a different sense of business, right? When
yeah,
you're representing somebody else.
exactly.
I think though the same holds true, which I think is kind of a great point to make. you might be one person with one situation, and you're going to be another person with another situation. It doesn't mean you're fake. It just means you're blending with the environment in which you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
Yep.
just the same as you're different with your friends, as you're different with your children,
Yeah.
as you're different with your
Yeah.
clients, and that's just the part of being a successful person, business person, being able to read the room, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
important. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the fact that you had to be a bit of something maybe you weren't truly, nobody's gonna forsake that as, you weren't being genuine. It's just understood.
Yeah. No, I think I've always been genuine. I just didn't curse. I've always been blunt. I've always worn my heart on my sleeve. I've always been tenderhearted, always very caring, always very, I don't put up with bullies. Like I don't deal with that very, like that's not happening. I mean, all of that is all very real. I just don't, I like to be able just to be who I am, like in this sense. Does that make sense?
Of course.
Um,
And
I
I
don't
hope
know.
if it's any sort of, reflection or positivity, affirmation is the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. Just looking at some of the comments in the chat, and, people saying it's a, joy to meet you. I mean, again, I'm just so thrilled that there's people here that did not know you. And I think that, at least I know from my community, that's what people enjoy. I mean, if people are in my community, they're seeing all of the aspects of farming, they're seeing me cry, they're seeing me laugh. I mean, I try to bring people in as much as possible to, all of the things that are going on when I can, both in my personal life and, in my business life, in that sense. Because for me, it's all the same. I don't have a separation,
Mhm.
and it sounds like that's kind of finally where you've arrived as well.
Yeah.
I've always worked for myself. So if you are part of my world, you're part of my world. You
Yeah.
will see all aspects of it. And I think
Yeah.
that's important because people then can relate to you as a person, as a personality, because you're relatable, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
And
somebody's
that's
like, oh my God, I love track and field, or I did this, or wow, I started lifting too. I mean, me, I was at the gym this morning. I boxed. Like, I had to switch over on my stories, and I started showing all that this morning. And then I'm like, so I have a thing that I have to put up, because that's why I was like, I can't believe you shared this on your story. That was me in the truck in my gym gear because I was too tired last night to do a story. And I said shit. And then you shared it. And
I don't even care.
I
That's
was
where
like,
I am. I mean, I'm at the gym. I'm sharing stuff at the gym. I'm getting muscles. Your muscles are bigger than mine. I got to show you my muscles because it's so silly. But I'm getting arm muscles. Can you see
good
my
for
muscle?
you, girl. I
I'm
love it.
very I'm very
I love it.
impressed. So like, because I
Hey,
was
well
I
then
was
wait a minute. I got to tell you, because all of it, we did some great recipe shares. I don't care if they didn't like it. I am always like trying to up my protein. I mean, you ever want to talk about that kind of stuff, your macros and all of that? I did an amazing no bake cheesecake and an amazing pumpkin pie bowl. Are you PSL or no PSL? Do
I
you like
don't and I'm indifferent.
Okay. All right. Well, if some people absolutely hate it or not, but
Yeah.
anyway, like these amazing like 5-minute desserts that are like packed 30 grams of protein, like 200 calories, like it's amazing. Anyway,
Oh, see, that's good.
oh
So
my
it's
day.
wild. Like my sweet tooth has gone away. Like I
I
don't,
don't really have as much either, honestly. But if
but
you tell me it has protein in it, I'm all there.
sour though. I'm like, I have Sour Patch Kids here, which I never in a million years would have ever eaten prior to going through perimenopause. And now they're just here because every now and again I'm just like, I need something sour, and I'll put one. I mean, it's like maybe one a day, maybe just one of these. That's it. And I never would have eaten them before, ever. But I love cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese before cottage cheese became the thing. Like I
Oh,
loved it.
me
And
too.
so I add cottage cheese to everything. And I did
That's
that before. So I do a lot of cottage cheese. Yeah, I find like
you.
eating protein is a full-time job, man.
Oh my, that's what I'm telling you. We
Trying
can,
to get
all right,
enough.
this is like a whole nother, yeah, but I mean, I always laugh because I'm like, if you stay still, I'm gonna eat you. Because if I
Oh,
gotta get my protein in,
it's so hard. That's what Jillian is. I mean, not I know you got to
so
go soon, but like
important.
Jillian, my the guy I was telling you about, the personal trainer stuff, he's like, I want you to start keeping track of everything that you're eating throughout. I was like, Jalen, I'm doing the best I can, man. I'm like, I cannot get any more food in me. I'm trying to eat as much as I possibly can. I just can't. I am tapped out. I'm tapped out. And so, I mean, because I'm trying to get healthier. I'm trying to get stronger and all the things, and lose more weight and uh, just feel better. I mean, I already feel better. I'm already getting stronger. And like my goal this year, I want to do a pull up. I'm on my own. I want to do a pull up, and I'm gonna do that this year. It's gonna happen. So I
I
don't
love
know.
it. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, that's a whole nother subject for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, you could get me on that any day. So, and you know what? It's all those things. I mean, I think I'm in better shape now than I was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And
I
it
was a
all
D1 athlete, and I'm in better shape right now than I was then. Like it's wild to me.
good for you.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, listen, let's cottage cheese eggs.
Yes.
Stephanie Cross, who suggested I reach out to you. So yeah, I guess you're gonna have to fill me in on
They're
cottage.
the best. Oh,
What is it?
cottage cheese, scrambled eggs with cottage cheese.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
staple for me.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
delicious. Absolutely
actually, I
delicious.
just put my cottage cheese on the side. So if you
Oh,
really must know, like I do egg
no.
white omelets, my cottage cheese is on the side, and then I'll have my like half avocado. That's like,
Oh yeah. I scramble it in and then I cook the eggs a little bit slower so that the curds get all melted
yeah,
and nobody in my family knows, and then they're just like, these are so good. These are so creamy. They're so yummy. I'm like, and they're good for you too. And I usually put it on my sourdough. So I'll get a slice of sourdough and avocado and then my scrambled eggs, and it's delicious. And I'm full for hours.
yep.
I don't know.
No, it's
Good
amazing.
stuff, man. I love this. This is awesome.
Oh no, it's great, and I'm very picky about my cottage cheese too. So you can,
Me too. I like good
great.
culture.
Wait, oh, see, I don't mind them, but believe it or not, mine is friendship. 16 grams of protein, and it's thick.
I've never had that. I
I hate
don't
the
like
word
Daisy.
cottage cheese. Oh no,
I
I
don't
hate.
I don't like Daisy. My
And
husband just bought a big old thing.
Sam's Club has a big tub, and I want to like it, and it's
That's
soft.
my husband just bought it and he was like, "You could use these for your eggs." And I was like,
Oh
"Thank
no,
you."
no.
Thanks, babe. I love you. Like,
Right? I want to like it because the tub is $5. Where
exactly.
I want to like it, but I can't.
I don't like it. I've never had the other one. I like good culture
Friendship
though.
is
I like that.
amazing, either like whipped or the home style. So good.
Now
I'll
I'm gonna
just
have to look that up, see if they have that here.
I'll send you it.
Okay. All right. That works.
All right, I love this. I love this. Okay, so yeah, there is a reason it's $5. It still sucks. I'll buy it
Yeah.
every time, and
Oh,
then I'm just like, I can't do it. Maybe I'll
it's
be
just so
fine
not.
in baking, but if I'm eating it plain, nope.
No, no, no,
All
no.
right, so let's do this before I give you opportunity to kind of wrap things up. We've been pretty much at 41. I do want to say before I forget, everybody in the chat, I saw actually Stacy, you know how to get me on text. If anyone else is having trouble opening up the recipe, shoot me a message. Unfortunately, Erin, my moderator, had to step out. She had an animal emergency. So I've kind of lost that part of it. So it's not that I'm not responding, but I can't get to my keyboard the way my setup is. So if anyone needs anything and you didn't get it or you didn't get your answers, if you don't have my cell phone, everyone else in the world does. So get it and shoot me a text, and I'm happy to help. I'm just that kind of person. So with that, we've had 41 strong for quite some time now. So if you
Oh, I love it. All right, that's good.
it was a little higher. Sometimes we lose a couple people, but I'm telling you, I know when it holds steady. So we've been holding steady at that. So everybody loves it, and they're not just in it for the $25 store credit. I know that for sure. But I need you to pick a number, random number from 1 to 41. I need a new system as my community grows because I can't be counting all these numbers. But what I do is I just literally count through my participant list. So from a number from 1 to 41, what's your pick?
31.
All right, that's sort of easier because then I can just go to the bottom.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and
And
I have to ask because I don't know. Robbie, did you win already? Where's your face? I have to look. And I mean, I know like what's fair is fair, but where are you, Robbie? Robbie McCarthy. Shake it. Did you win already once? Did you? Yes, I feel like. Do you mind if we take a bump up so we can share the wealth? Is that okay with you? My people are so good. So then actually this is a newer person who actually in the chat said she didn't know you. So
Oh,
I'm excited. I don't know where she came from, which is wonderful. But Rhonda, so it's Rhonda Whitwer, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So Rhonda, you are the winner. Thanks to Robbie, who was willing to forego so that we could spread the wealth to everybody. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to open up the chat quickly. This is not great for recording purposes, but just because I don't have a moderator at the time, Rhonda, if you could do me a favor and drop something into the chat so that I know how to get a hold of you so that we can make sure that you get your $25 store credit. That's
oh,
going to go into your account with us after TDOC is over.
so
And
I was going to give people a coupon code to use in my Ravelry store if that works.
absolutely,
Is
is
that
that
good?
something? Can you drop that in? Can
So
you?
I just dropped my link to my Ravelry store, but I'm going to tell you guys the coupon code. You ready? It's
All right,
shit
and
because
I'm
I
going
said it
to.
so many times.
I was going to say, and here's what I'll do too. I'm going to copy it down, everybody, because then, like for instance, tomorrow night when we have our moderate coupon code, is that really the coupon code?
It really is. I
I
was like, why
love
not?
it.
That's hilarious.
All right, that is hilarious. I love it. I was like, wait, I thought you were like literally talking out loud,
Nope.
saying
Nope.
like,
That's literally what I put the coupon code. I was like, why not? I said it like 15 times. Y'all should remember it.
the only thing I would say is, everybody's got to have a favorite word, right? Unfortunately, mine is even worse, and it's just
Well,
my.
my favorite word is the F word, but I try not to say
Ah!
that online. It's just very versatile,
You
but I
know what?
don't say that online. But it's
Absolutely.
just so you guys know, if you use the coupon code, it's 50% off anything in my Ravelry store, and it's good until Friday.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay. So wait, that's amazing. Marley, I will get the info from you off
Yeah, no
camera
worries.
so that way I can make sure that we have that so that we can continue to.
Ruth Ann, you are my people. Ruth Ann says it could be a noun, a verb, an adjective, an adverb.
Absolutely,
It
absolutely.
is so versatile.
We have a good time over here, really. I mean, you should see some of the memes. Actually, you should see some of the memes we send back and forth, and we have a
I
great time. And you know what? That's why I said you just got to be real, and everybody can appreciate that for sure.
don't think caps matter, Stephanie. I'll go check. I think I just wrote SHIT. Let me go look. I gotta go open it up.
No, and then I was going to say, and I'll get that from you, like I said, after we are off camera. While Marley's just quick looking that up, and then before I give her a chance to kind of say her parting words, if you will, I just want to remind everybody about tomorrow night's guest. Again, I never have any of this planned, and the way that everybody has intertwined again for the fourth year of TDOC is just utterly amazing to me. It makes me look like this really was some master plan, and that absolutely was not, because as I already disclosed, my people know already, I pull shit out of my butt at the 11th hour all the time, and it all comes together, damn it.
Me too. That's how the New Year's Eve countdown started. I was like, you know what? We should do something. I designed and got all that done in 4 days.
That's how TDOC started 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Mostly though, because I had the idea, and honestly, I wasn't courageous enough to put it out there. I'm like, nobody's going to like this. Nobody's going to want to do it. Should we do it? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then at the last minute, I'm just like, grabbed all my friends that I knew, and I was like, we're doing this. And I don't know who's going to watch, but we're going to see. So, you know what? I mean, 4 years later, here we are. I know my people love it. Everyone seems to keep coming back, and it just kind of keeps building. And that's why we continue to just get different people on here to have fun conversations. I always say, whether you want to get away from your relatives through the holidays, or you know what, there's many of us that don't have a ton of family or relatives for the holidays. And, it's obviously just brought something into everyone's home. And if they can't watch it live, they'll watch the recording. And the amount that we learn and interact, because it's not all knitting and crocheting and designing and yarn. I mean, there's so many other aspects. Last night, I had a fellow shearer on, and shepherd. We had a large animal veterinarian on. Like sometimes, like our most fun is like we're just geeking out on my animal science stuff, which is foreign to everybody except myself and the guest. So we just have a lot of fun with it, and Yeah, I'm so glad that you said thank you. So, as I was saying, you brought up Trisha's name earlier, unbeknownst to me. So, tomorrow night is our last guest, and it is Trisha Malcolm, who now works for Rowan. But as far as I'm concerned, she will forever be the face of Vogue Knitting Live. And I made sure, I said, "You sure it's all right? We talk about that." But I mean, she just was so integral to the start of my business and my brand and my evolving in this industry that I'm just forever indebted to her. And we're great friends, to boot. So I finally rounded her up this year and got her on because I've been trying to wrangle her in. So that's our guest for tomorrow night, of which it wraps up our guest. So don't forget, for anybody that does want to continue to get in for that keepsake basket, which I can't even, I mean, there's just a whole bunch of shit in here, but good shit, really good shit.
Good shit. I should have done that. Good shit.
So, anyway, I hope that you guys will join us tomorrow night, of course, and rounding it out. And then again, don't forget, guys, join us for the party, because one of the things with the after party is every guest, I will have like a trivia question. Now, the trivia question for Marley is not going to be what's her favorite word, because we all know that. Well, actually, now we really know what your favorite word is. We're
Yes.
going to come up with something more obscure, but I try to find like a really fun trivia question that people had to be part of the conversation. And then we have prizes for each of that. And then, of course, ultimately,
There you
our
go.
raffle basket gets drawn. So it's just a lot of fun. And I hope everyone will continue to join us for the next 2 days and catch up on the recordings. But with that, oh, go ahead. Yeah,
So
John.
you asked if I wanted to put anything in the raffle basket, and I do, if that's all right.
Yes,
Like
yes,
I
absolutely.
whoever wins, I'd like to they could choose whatever product in the Marley Birdhouse they want, and I'll give it to them for free. So
Okay, and I
they
will
could choose.
follow up with that with you so I
Okay.
can be sure about that, and then
Mhm.
we'll of course announce that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you. I so
Cool.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
And no, that's and again, that was just this was just something that kind of evolved,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it was just sort of like a little memoir from all of our guests ends up in this basket, and it's usually by the time we're done a basket that's well over five, $600, $700 in value,
Yeah.
and just people generously donate. And it's just always been a great way to kind of round out the 12 days of community. So,
That's awesome. That's
so
awesome. All
please,
right.
I'm going to let you, I've done my, goodbyes in that sense, but, I want you to just have the platform to, wrap it up. Is there anything coming up that people should know about?
Yes.
Is there anything you didn't get to say? Like, how would you want to end the evening for us?
So we talked a lot about the different make-alongs we do. The next big make-along we're doing is game day, and that is Super Bowl Sunday. So we will start announcing that a couple weeks before Super Bowl. We'll start telling you what supplies are. That is a mystery one. Now we try not to do a whole lot of mystery ones because there's enough mystery in the world that I sometimes you just want to know. But the game day has historically been a mystery make-along.
I
And
just want
so
to stop you so that people know. So, do you have a newsletter? Do people have to go to social
we
media?
do.
How are they getting the alerts for
So
all of the things you do?
we'll post it on Instagram and on the Facebook, and then we do have a newsletter that I encourage you to be a part of. We'll post
Say
it there.
Alice from my community said she just already signed up for your newsletter.
Yeah. So and I mean we send out newsletters. I think let's see, I think we do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Like, and they're like, there's patterns in there. And like one newsletter is from Chrissy, my assistant. Like it's conversations with Chrissy. So it's from Chrissy. And then there's one that's from me. And then Saturday's one is like, it's all about, hey, you like patterns? Here's a whole bunch of patterns. There's a whole bunch of different information you can get. But yeah, all of that. And then Mondays with Marley on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in Marley, Marly. There's no E. Marley Bird, like the Marley Bird, like the animal or the finger, whichever way works for you. And that's how you'll remember. And so Mondays at 12:30. And we are looking into starting a year-long make-along there for a blanket, for a knit blanket and a crochet blanket. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So you just kind of want to listen in to kind of get some little details, little hints. I haven't decided fully, so this is your chance to give your input. But other than that, come and be a part of everything. Like it's fun. We in the Marley's Minions Facebook group, that's what I did not name them. They named themselves just so that we're all clear here. But in the Facebook group, we call it the By Crafty community. it's a safe place on the internet. We try and keep everything very positive in there. We don't allow negativity. Again, there's enough negative in the world. That's the last place I want to have it. And so every single post that gets posted there is reviewed by our moderators. So we are very protective of the whole environment. And I like it's one of the safest places on the internet, in my opinion, as far as like your feelings because I don't want I mean there's just like I said there's enough shit out there. I don't want it be I won't want my place to be shitty. So we have a lot of fun. But yeah, and then just go check out the Marley Birdhouse if you get a chance and have some fun. I don't know, just have fun out there. Leave comments, smash that like button. Um I don't know, share the reels, do all the things. That's it. I got nothing more, y'all. I'm word out. That's all I got.
Well, that's perfect. I mean, look, the most important thing is that people know how to follow you, that they know how to get involved, that they know how to support, right? Because it takes a community to continue supporting each community. And, again, I wanted to be able to share this platform with you. And it was
Thanks.
great to see you. I
Yeah.
definitely want to follow up and keep in touch. And, I'm amazed at all of the things you've been able to accomplish over
Thanks.
all of the years. And we're both still here. It's
I
been a
know.
long
We're now the
time.
old guard. How about that? That's the wildest thing. I'm like looking around, I'm like, who are these people? They're like, there's Marley Bird. She's been around for ages. Oh my God.
That's all right. I mean, that just shows because you've had to transform. I've had to transform. You
Oh
can't
yeah.
be the same person and still be here after all
Nope.
those years.
I
And
always
that just means like we're here, we're here for it.
you
What's
gotta pivot. Gotta
wow,
pivot.
oh my God, please. If that's a word I don't use all the time, right?
Yes, you have to pivot. That's my old assistant bought this for me because I'm always pivoting. So
So
yeah.
I'm gonna just actually quick, and then I know we gotta get out of here. But John is raised his hand, and I love John. So what you got to say? You can unmute yourself. You should be able to unmute. I hit that button.
Can I see? How do I
There we
see
go.
him?
And I'm gonna add spotlight. So I'm bringing you
Oh,
in.
okay.
I
Hi.
just really quick wanted to remind you to save the chat.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. I know since I look at my people, since I lost my moderator. And you know what? For a fleeting moment, I remembered, then I forgot, so thank you. Look at that. I love it. Now you're on
And
camera.
thank you so much. It was a
That's
great
good
night.
shit, John. Way to go, man.
Yeah,
Way
good
to
shit.
go.
Fellow quick
I
players,
love
so I
it.
loved
I
it.
love it. Yeah, that's been a thing. Like I just get so excited and I'll get to the end and somebody's screaming for me to save the chat because I always forget. I just
Yep.
too wrapped up. But I saved the chat, so we are good. Listen, much love to everybody. Marley, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks.
I really appreciate it. It's been a blast and it's been great catching up. And I look
Awesome.
forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night.
Awesome.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody. Have a great night. Keep up the good shit.